We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-575-6759. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS. Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start. Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems. We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau. You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com or call 800-575-6759. That's 800-575-6759. Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
It's time for Sedano and Cap.
A little sabor, and we're going to just nosh.
It is George Sedano. It is Scott Kaplan. Sedano and Cap is on.
I'm going to have to say respectfully, I'm going to disagree.
Okay, why is that?
I don't know.
The LA Afternoon Drive takeover.
He likes to lay the wood.
Yeah. You say Kikuchi.
Wacky forced radio stunt of the year. Ha-ha!
Christopher can go to hell.
Oh, nothing worse than the horse. Nah, man, black don't crack.
Benjamin Pratt is like, how do you say his name? Asminger?
Asminger. Hey, these Hard Knocks guys are all over me right now. It's like I'm back in Dayton. You are a bit killer.
Because you got to talk about sperm?
Here we go.
You don't know. You don't know. And you know why you don't know? Because you're gutless, Andy. You're gutless.
Sedano and Cap.
God, I'm going to melt you.
Yeah. Ding, da da bop. Boom, beat up bop. Ding, da da bop. Doom, ding up bop. Da bop. Doom, da da bop. Doom, ding up bop.
By the way, I did see the clip that Laura sent now. I did forget Best Damn Sports Show, so it is a real contest.
You forgot Best Damn Sports Show.
Yeah, it is a real Now, I have been on Around the Horn for a long time. I've been on a bazillion different talk shows on ESPN for over a decade. But it is a real contest.
Okay.
I've also done the NBA Finals, too. Like, that's not like a small thing.
Hey, DeMarco, my man Sedano here wins, okay?
No.
No.
I heard. Wait.
Nope.
Will you stop? Because now it's my turn.
Okay.
I'm not letting you dictate terms here anymore. Okay.
Can I talk? It's my show.
Because every time you dictate terms, it gets all of us in trouble. So I'm going to dictate terms here now.
All right,
okay?
You dictate. Go ahead.
So it is much closer because I did forget Best Damn Sports Show. I did forget his stint there. So.
Well, how long was he on it? Because I feel like we could kind of
It doesn't matter.
Okay.
That was a huge show.
Okay.
So that is irrelevant. But what I would say is that the resume is a lot closer. I still believe I've got him, but it is a lot closer. Now, he did bring up a point that I will not dispute either, because I said in the football world, I mean, I literally said he's the king, I'm the peasant. So if you're telling me, I mean, look, anybody who is a Super Bowl champion is going to have more name recognition overall, I would presume. So he said in totality, when you include, he didn't want to exclude the football. If you're including the football, yeah, he's got me.
Should we go to the audio tape from earlier today?
I've already heard it, so we don't need to go any further into this. Because here's the thing.
Else?
If we go to the audio, no, because everyone's heard their crosstalk too. Oh. If we, again, you're just trying to milk this and get us more in trouble for some reason or another. And I'm not letting it happen, Kaplan.
Actually,
because you know what? Him blaming you from the beginning is absolutely spot on.
I am denying all culpability.
Okay, well, there you go. Nonetheless,
all culpability.
As Vince Carter once said after the 2000 slam dunk competition, it's over. Okay?
Is that what he said 25 years ago?
Yes.
Okay, gotcha. Well, I'm glad we're going to end it here, because here's the thing. Since we've got all the emotion going, and since we've got all the passion happening already here this afternoon, we probably ought to turn both of those things into what happened last night. So I'll make an opening statement. I'll hear what you have to say. Here
you
goes.
Have a salvo?
A salvo. Here goes. And I'll make it quick. You ready? Last night, and combine it with the game against Utah before the start of the All-Star break, it's freaking embarrassing. Honestly, it's an embarrassment. It's okay if you lose a game to a Denver or an Oklahoma City or a Houston. And listen, I got it any given night, any team. Okay, fine. But when you were as hot as the Lakers were, and listen, at the end of the first half of the season before the All-Star break, guys go to sleep, guys need a break. I'll buy that. You're on the road, I'll buy that. But last night, to be home against a team like Charlotte, with everything that happened between the two organizations, which, by the way, is still ongoing because the kid Williams is just not giving up. His agent's not giving up. Everybody's blaming the Lakers for failing him on his physical that they say he shouldn't have failed, et cetera, et cetera. Mm-hmm. You lose that game last night? Come on, man. Really?
Come on, man.
You're going to lose that kind of game last night to
so
them?
I would say this, unless you want to continue so we can just rack you.
I definitely feel like I may get racked today at some point. I'm
right,
feeling
but I mean, if you
rackable.
want to keep going, I mean,
right,
you got to keep going.
I'll give you one last thing.
You can't just dismount on "Come on, man."
I'll give you one last thing. Here's a little bit more detail.
You can't just dismount on "Come on,
no,
man."
No, because "Come on, man" is like when you get to the end of it all, you're like, I've just had a breath. Come on, man. You know. But here's the thing.
Come on, Andy.
Let me ask you this question, George. Mm-hmm. Do you consider the Lakers to be an upper level three-point shooting team?
No, but more recently they have taken a lot of threes.
Okay. Dude, 51 three-point shots last night.
Right. Well, they've done that the last couple of games, actually.
They've been up there. I mean, 51's like the highest of the season. Mm-hmm. But 51 three-point shots, you're 15 of 51. When you get to, I don't know, 10 of 35, don't you start thinking to yourself, guys, we're not exactly hitting a bunch of long-range shots here. We're playing against a really bad young team. How about, here's a concept, how about we try and drive the ball to the basket? Is that a thought, maybe?
I mean, Robert Horry said so after the postgame.
Well, this Robert Horry's a smart guy.
I mean, he's a 7-time champion.
Well, his resume outdoes mine, I'll tell you that right now.
I would say his resume outdoes everybody, at least in this building.
Oh, yeah, I mean, come on. What can you tell me? When you take 51 three-point shots when you're not really, really a three-point shooting team, what is that? Is it laziness? Is it lack of effort? Is it
no? That's by
shots?
design, I would say.
Oh, then it's coaching.
I mean, I think it's by design that they want to put up a lot of shots. Look, everybody's trying to figure out a way to chase Boston. Mm-hmm. Boston has broken the math in a way that has become a big problem. So because of that, everyone is chasing Boston in that sense.
And I guess if you're J.J. Redick and what you were as a player was a three-point shooter, okay, I'll buy that. You want your team to be a better three-point shooting team.
I'll give you an example. The Boston Celtics have shot more than 2,500 three-point attempts, okay? They shoot 54% almost of their shots from three.
Okay.
And I think that's the difference. That's the thing that has helped, one of the things that has helped put them in the position they're in, because they're a tough maths problem to solve, basically. So because of that, teams are shooting more threes than they have previously. So I think that and everyone's trying to chase them in that sense. And the Lakers were near the bottom in attempts, even though, they were, I would say, middle of the pack regarding percentage.
Just thinking to myself last night, you guys aren't dropping threes. You're playing against a weakling, okay? Please, go to the basket. It's okay to hit a 2-point shot. Not everything has to be a 3-point shot. Am I wrong here?
Yeah, I mean, against Charlotte, sure. Like, I'm with you on that. But if you're trying to create a game plan that you want to follow moving forward, where, you want probably a more balanced 50-50-ish style of shot selection from threes to twos, then you got to start somewhere. Like, you can't just say, oh, we're just going to do it in the playoffs, because then, it's not it's not really practical to do it that way either. And
Okay.
perhaps, while I agree with you that I think that it's not a great look losing to the two worst teams in the league the last couple of games, sandwiched between the All-Star game, I would say that sometimes you got to break some eggs to make an omelet.
Okay. That's I've not really heard that, although I can actually envision breaking eggs to create
You've
an
never
omelet.
heard of that saying before?
Not really. But I mean, it seems like a very rational saying to me. Look, all I'm saying is this, is that when you're playing a bottom feeder like Charlotte, you have to win those games, particularly when you're at home. I mean, that's just not a game you should be losing. For as hot as they were, and if you go back, George, before that Utah game, before the end of the first half of the season, what did they go on? Like a 10 wins out of 11 games kind of a run, something like that, right?
Yeah.
You should not be losing at home to a team like Charlotte. And if you're going to say, hey, look, by design, we better become a better three-point shooting team, I can buy that. They should be, because they don't have a big guy anymore. So feeding the ball inside is not like it was when you had Anthony Davis. I get it. But against a team like Charlotte last night, when you're not dropping threes, at some point you got to go to the basket. That's ball talk right there.
The offense did get stagnant as soon as Austin Reeves got ejected. I will say that everyone was ball watching. When LeBron had the ball, everyone was standing around the perimeter just watching them go
Even
one-on-one
Luca.
one-on-one, exactly, even one-on-one ISO ball. So I would say the offense did get stagnant as soon as Austin Reeves went out.
Yeah. Well, we should talk about Luca. And by the way, what you said about kind of standing around watching, some of the criticism of Luca before he got here, at least for right now, I can kind of see it a little bit.
Oh, okay. Well, let's get into that. I'd love to hear your criticisms. I want to see if you get racked again. We didn't really rack you the first time.
No, it's like a half a rack.
Yeah.
I need a full rack.
Yeah. Those are like some St. Louis, ribs.
Yeah, no.
It was a baby back.
Yeah, you
rack.
need like a full rack. You don't need a little half a rack.
Yeah. By the way, real quick, let me tell you about this.
Tell me.
Jacob and Ronnie, our guy, okay? Listen, you get into an accident, you call Jacob at 844-24-JACOB. Tell him Sedano, Mason, and the crew at 710 send you. And if you go to his Instagram right now, you go to the link in the bio, he's giving away a chance to win a pair of tickets to the game when Dallas comes to town here in a week or so. So make sure you check that out. But more importantly, when you get into an accident, look, you're driving around town, you probably have seen Jacob's billboards, right? Jacob has a picture. It simply says, the real deal. And that's what Jacob is. If you're injured in an accident, you need an attorney. You want an attorney who's respected. And, of course, that's Jacob. So call him at 844-24-JACOB. Tell him Sedano, Mason, and the crew at 710 sent you. You want an attorney who's been helping Southern Californians since, I don't know, the Lakers were playing at the Forum in the 90s? That's Jacob, man. You want an attorney who just doesn't put his name on a bunch of advertising. You want one who's in the office every day, working to get you the settlement you deserve. That's Jacob. And you want an attorney that the insurance companies respect. And trust me, the insurance companies know Jacob is the real deal. So if you've been injured in any type of accident, don't accept the first settlement or the offer from the insurance company. Call Jacob because he's the real deal. Call him at 844-24-JACOB. That's 844-24-JACOB, 844-24-JACOB. Visit him online at calljacob.com. And by the way, if you or a loved one have been injured or lost property due to the wildfires, please call Jacob for a free case evaluation. Don't forget that, too. And together, we will rebuild.
Are you the greatest Laker fan of all time? Enter to win, and you could be named the Lakers GOAT. That's right, GOAT. The winner will receive the ultimate fan package, including courtside seats, exclusive experiences, Lakers swag, and BBGO for a year. For all the contest information, visit LakersGFOAT.com.
ESPN.
Located in the heart of downtown Los Angeles, Crypto.com Arena is pulling back the curtain and unveiling new behind-the-scenes VIP tours, which offer an exclusive look inside one of the world's most iconic sports and entertainment venues. Expert guides will lead small groups through spaces that have hosted legendary sports championships, world-renowned concerts, and epic award shows. Guests will also explore the venue's VIP areas and experience the arena's latest renovations. For more info, visit cryptoarena.com/tours.
Are you in the hunt for an exciting new job in the world of professional sports and entertainment? Legends Hospitality is thrilled to announce our hiring fair this Saturday, February 22nd and Sunday, February 23rd from 8 a.m. to 12 p.m. at SoFi Stadium. We're looking for enthusiastic candidates for part-time positions in catering, concessions, merchandise, culinary, and more. Enjoy competitive wages and a flexible schedule. Whether you're seeking valuable experience or looking to boost your income, we have a role that's perfect for you. We'll be conducting on-the-spot interviews, so come ready to impress. To enter the stadium, please use Pinkay Avenue and Barris Drive and park in Lot E, where you can check in at VIP Entry 11. Don't forget to visit legends.net/careers to explore our current openings and apply now. That's legends.net/careers. Don't miss this incredible opportunity. Your future starts here.
Empower. Tim collects bobbleheads. A lot of bobbleheads. Baseball bobbleheads, race car bobbleheads, little chihuahua bobbleheads. He's got an entire room strictly for bobbleheads. Does he need them? No. Is his wife mad about it? A little. But Tim works with Empower, and he got good at money, so he can be a little bad. Ooh, horse bobblehead. Classy, Tim. Empower. Invest well, live a little. Start today at empower.com.
Whether you're tinkering in your garage or tackling big projects, if you know the value of working with your hands, you know Harbor Freight. And you can be confident knowing that at Harbor Freight, you can get quality tools at prices that work just as hard as you do. Because the only thing more satisfying than a job well done is a job well done, well under budget. Whatever you do it for less at Harbor Freight.
This is Sedano and Cap for your afternoon drive.
Walks around like a little puppy dog.
On 710 ESPN.
Ooh. On the replay. Rihanna. I haven't heard this song in a long time.
Today Rihanna's birthday?
It is, 37.
That's it, huh? 37 years old.
It's a good jam right here.
Young lady.
I know she's been around the game a long time, Captain. Even at 37.
Yeah.
Our guy Charles Barkley today, 62.
62?
Yeah.
Really?
I'm going to text him. Happy birthday, Chuck.
Oh, that's a sweet thing to do.
I didn't know it was his birthday.
It's lovely. So, before
Go ahead.
break,
What did you want to say about Luca? Go ahead.
Here's what I want to say. I'm going to cut him a break, but I'm going to just say it. When you've been off since Christmas Day and you have to come back and play in an NBA game, this isn't some minor league game. You know what I mean? This is real pros on the floor. You're not in tip-top physical condition. I mean, that is fair for anybody. I mean, if you haven't played since Christmas Day and your first game back was what, George, maybe a week or so ago?
Correct.
You're talking about being off for a legitimate, 7 weeks of not playing basketball.
He missed almost 2 months of basketball, right?
And when you have a calf injury, it's not like the trainers are in the training room going, okay, pal, let's get you on the treadmill and let's keep your cardio going.
No, you got to be off your feet.
Right. You have to take care of that. Yeah. So I will say that the criticism that came with the trade was the Mavericks say he doesn't work hard. They say they question his commitment to the game, et cetera, et cetera. I did not do that, mostly because I'm a homer and because I'm a Luca fan and I wanted to see him succeed right away. But the fact is if you watch him last night, and if you've watched him in the first 3 games that he's started, if you watch him, he definitely is winded. He's not in tip-top, end of February NBA shape. He's in, I missed almost 2 months in the middle of this thing, and now I got to work myself back into shape. And it's not just like putting his hands on his knees and looking like he's sucking wind. It's just the clanking of the ball off the rim because he just doesn't seem to have his legs.
A lot of short shots, yeah.
So I guess what I'm saying is I think the criticism is fair for now. And if he's got the kind of pride that I hope he has, he's going to get himself into the kind of shape he needs to be in, and then he's going to get his game back together. Now, is he going to start? Is he not playing tonight? George, have you read this or heard this? That he's not.
He's out.
He's out tonight.
Yep.
No back-to-backs.
Yeah.
I'm sure that's a medical staff decision.
And that was probably planned ahead of time, don't you think?
Yeah, it would make sense that, if he was going to play a game, it would be the first one and not the second one.
Yeah.
Because they want him to be good to go for Saturday against Denver.
Yeah. Well, listen, with the schedule, and you and I talked about this a little bit yesterday, with the schedule going from the likes of Utah and Charlotte and Portland, and I know you've said Portland's better than maybe we really know.
Well, they're playing better, that's for sure.
Okay, all I'm saying is, as you know, the schedule's about to turn. It's going to get a lot harder from here.
No question.
So I don't know what they do to get him into the best shape that he can be in, or how he's
going
to have to play. That's it. You just got to play him into it.
Yeah, you got to play.
They're about to be looking at play-in seating, like come Sunday.
Well, right, because the West is crazy that way.
You know, if you're going to knock on his conditioning, on Luca's conditioning, I guess I should balance that out a little bit by giving credit where credit is due.
Yeah.
Hey, LeBron, that ankle that was bothering you for the All-Star game looked pretty good last night. Didn't look so bad to me.
Yeah, because he rested during the All-Star game.
Yeah. That must have been it. I mean, the way he was
such a jerk face.
Yeah.
I swear to God.
Yeah.
God, you're so schmarmy when you do that too.
That one day off, man.
It wasn't one
Who
day.
Who cares about the All-Star game?
Wait a second.
Not
It
me.
was
Not
first of all,
them.
it wasn't one
None
day.
of the players.
Right.
It wasn't one day either.
No, I'm just joking. But here's the thing: is that LeBron last night looked great. LeBron,
You're like, you know what you are? You're like a schmarmy or Skip Bayless to LeBron.
and you know what you guys all are?
You're like schmarmy Bayless.
You're kind of
What
you
are
guys
we?
are a bunch of LeBron apologists, is what you.
Whoa, how am I a LeBron apologist?
Apologist? What?
Yeah.
Okay, whatever, man.
I mean, just listen. He can do no wrong, and it's.
What do you
turning
mean he could
into-
do no wrong? I
it's
literally
turning-
said that he was selfish for not. Him and the league were not. Didn't do this right by not giving someone else an opportunity to play in the All-Star game.
Well, I agree with that. All
I'm
I'm
a
saying
LeBron
is this.
apologist, and I'm proud of it, Cap.
No, I know you are.
How am
That's
I a
fine.
LeBron apologist, though?
Don't get so offended, DeAndre. It's not
Yeah,
such
DeAndre,
a
relax.
bad
I
thing
just
to be
want to say,
called.
hold on. I just want to know, how am I a LeBron apologist?
Well, I maybe accidentally lumped you into the group. How about that? You know?
DeAndre is the host of Lakers Talk Daily. You better have some respect, homeboy.
Hey, listen, the thing is, though, that I'm watching him
boy.
last night, and I'm just like, wow. I mean, look at the dunks. You know, look at him drive to the basket. He had that one monster dunk where he had the ball in his right hand. He brought it from like down on his butt and brought it all the way up and slammed it home. And Bronny was like, oh, damn, that's my dad out there. Hell yeah, Dad. And he was like, right? Like you saw that reaction. Am I wrong?
Yeah, it was
Right?
pretty good. He was like,
It
whoa.
was, right? It
chill.
was great. Like Bronny was like, that's my dad. That's my dad, yo. Right there. That's my dad dunking on you, fool. You know? Hey, listen, I wish my kids were that proud of me. You know?
Maybe they are, Cap.
I know, but
probably are, Cappy.
I just don't do anything that's that cool. You know, I don't get to dunk on anybody like that.
By the way, did you see JT the Brick? I think he tweeted something like, I know everyone likes to say, or there's a lot of people who think that MJ's the GOAT, but he was not doing this at 40. Not even close.
He also ripped Luca, didn't he?
Yeah, he kind of did.
George, I may see our boy JT the Brick this weekend.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, a little Vegas time this weekend, you know?
You're going to go to Vegas? Oh, that's right, because you're going to the Sphere.
He's
I'm going
doing
to
the
the
show
Sphere.
live from Vegas
Which, by the
tomorrow.
way, you've been trying to keep this thing like a secret, and
Yeah.
it's like all over social media.
I know, and I had no idea. I had no idea that it was all over social media. I feel like such a schmuck, you know? But, yeah, going to go to the Sphere, going to go see the Eagles on Saturday night.
Yeah.
And then I'm going to do the rock and roll half marathon. But don't, hold on a second. I'm not going to really do it. I'm only doing the 10K.
I was just going to say, like,
Yeah.
didn't you just say you couldn't finish a 10K all that well the other day?
I did a 10K on Super Bowl Sunday. On Thursday of that week, I was still walking around complaining about how sore I was.
Right.
So I don't see myself running a half marathon, but
Yeah.
it does sound kind of cool, doesn't it? Like the sun starts to set, the race goes off, and then you're like an hour out onto the course, and the whole city is coming to life and all lit up, and you're running right there on Las Vegas Boulevard. So that's my story. That's what I'm going to do on Sunday.
Oh, well, that's nice, Cap.
I'm going to head up to Vegas tonight, as a matter of fact.
Yeah. By the way, you going to watch this hockey game? Well, we're going to be on, right, at 5 o'clock when
Yeah,
it
we are.
starts.
And the game is it on ESPN or is it on ABC? I mean,
It's on ESPN tonight.
Yeah. Yes, I'm very much into this hockey game. Very
He was
much
telling me
into it.
about it, and I was like, I wouldn't have known about it if they didn't bring it up on Rizzo's show.
You hear that, George?
Well, we
Lindsay
didn't
doesn't-
bring it up. I mean, in all fairness.
I mean, Lindsay doesn't even know about the USA versus Canada. If it's not for Rizzo.
Did you know? Did you know, George? Like, would
Yeah,
you have
of course
known?
I knew. They fought for, like, in the first 9 seconds.
Yeah.
Everybody saw the videos on
But
social media.
the other day, was it yesterday when we brought it up? No, it was Tuesday. And you were like, oh, it's still going.
Right.
So, like, at first you didn't know either. This is all kind of new to everyone, isn't it? A new thing? It's a new
Yeah, well,
tournament?
I, a couple days ago, I didn't know that they were going to play beyond the weekend. But, yeah, but then shortly thereafter, I knew.
Well, now we all know.
I think that one of the things that people complained about the NBA All-Star Game is that not only did the current players and the current set of analysts kind of knock on the entire thing, everybody put it down. Everybody said it's bad product, it's boring, the ratings were horrendous, et cetera, et cetera. While that was happening, you saw two hockey teams, USA versus Canada, a lot of players that play with each other on the same teams or against each other in the NHL, and these guys are dropping gloves. They don't even drop gloves in the NHL anymore. These guys were fighting because they were wearing USA and Canada on their jerseys, not Florida and Tampa Bay, not Anaheim and L.A. And so what happened, I think, was nationally, hockey and the NHL in particular got a big boost of fans saying, gosh, those guys are playing like they actually really care. And
right.
then the NBA guys are like, they don't care.
Agreed. It was a great number for hockey at 4.4 million here in the U.S. Like, there's no question about that on ABC. But the All-Star Game, for it being the quote-unquote second least watched All-Star Game or whatever, still did more than that.
What did that do? I'm just curious.
Did 475.
So it just barely beat hockey.
Right, but also on cable, not on ABC. Like, that's not apples-to-apples comparison either.
You know, it's funny you say that because last night I had a dinner, and afterwards I had the Laker game on my phone. And this buddy of mine said, why don't you give me a ride home and we'll watch the rest of the game at my house? So we go to his house, and he doesn't have any cable. All he has is every streaming service. And I said to him, I go, dude, we're not getting the Laker game on any of your streaming services.
No, he's got the Spectrum whatever app. Yeah.
But he didn't have that. All he had was Paramount Plus, Netflix, Max. And I said to him, I go, brother, you're not getting this game on those apps. And he said, no, I'm telling you. Fubo. He tried Fubo. He tried every single app there was. I watched the Laker game on my phone.
Fubo he should, because Fubo is just like cable, basically.
Yeah, I watched it on Fubo.
You watched the Laker game on Fubo last night?
Yeah, he must not have the sports.
He must not have the sports package.
Guess not.
Yeah, because Fubo will have it, yeah.
It's like $50 if you don't have the sports package, and if you have your regional sports package, it's like an extra like $20. But it covers everything, like the Dodgers and Lakers.
Yeah.
A whole headache last night. I just had to sit there and watch this kid go through every freaking app that he had on his TV.
Well,
I go, I'm telling you, you're not getting the game.
In his defense, the Lakers games are, especially over the past couple weeks, are quite often on TNT, which is on
national
Max.
television.
And so you can just watch it on Max or on ESPN, which you can just watch on ESPN Plus.
TNT's on Max?
Yes. All
That
the
I did not
TNT, any of the games that are on
it's
TNT.
all owned by Warner Brothers Discovery.
Yeah.
See, you guys are telling me something I didn't know.
Yeah. By the way, ESPN LA fans may not know this. The Lakers and Bibigo are teaming up to find the Lakers Gafote, the greatest fan of all time. And are you the Gafote? Well, you know Cappy's not the Gafote. If so, you could win the ultimate fan package, including courtside seats and a year's supply of Bibigo. If this is you, go to LakersGafote.com. That's G-F-O-A-T. LakersGafote.com. 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 Learn how to submit your entry right there. You can win courtside seats and Bibigo for a year. All right? Go do it. LakersGafote.com. All right, Cappy, coming up next, you were talking about Luca. Well, apparently, our buddy Wendy, he said some stuff about Luca today. We're going to get into that on the other side. All right? And we'll talk about this hockey game a little more if you got more on it. I'd love to hear it. So, and not from Riz, from you instead.
You don't want to hear from Riz? You want to hear from Cap?
Well, Riz was on vacation. It was his co-host that was talking about it.
Oh, so it wasn't Riz?
It was his show, but he was on vacation.
You listen to Riz when there's no Riz?
Correct.
Wow.
His co-host,
Do you listen
Aaron.
to this show when there's no Sedano and Cap?
No.
She'll listen to this show when she's here.
You know where? Yeah, that's right. That's true.
All right. We'll be back in a second.
The biggest show on the radio.
You're going to do reporting on our contracts?
There's every intention of offering you a contract at some point.
That's fine.
I don't know when.
Okay, go watch Glenn Ross. Get them to sign on the line that is dotted.
So you two
That's you, Bergman. You're not closing.
Be closing.
Always.
I'm not the closer in this situation, but in sometime within the next 134 days.
Where in the trust tree is Bergman in terms of
Like you're below a lot of people on the trust tree.
Well,
Well, he doesn't sign the
You're not
checks.
the closer.
I don't know.
You're like a setup guy. You're like a middle reliever.
Sure.
You're an innings eater.
Now with
Yeah,
the
you're
Angels.
an innings
I'm
eater.
a setup man.
Yeah, you're a setup man.
Yeah.
Steve Mason and John Ireland, tomorrow at noon.
Mason and Ireland on 710 ESPN.
So Mark Reel from Real Fathers writes, I always say on the air, you have to have the right family law firm that is going to get you the happiness you deserve and the justice you deserve.
Really, the legal system is designed and set up for fathers to fail. I set out to create a firm and to create something that would help all men navigate that successfully.
We have a new phone number for Real Fathers Rights.
833 ESPN 710.
And RFR710.com.
Yes, RFR710.com.
Plan your perfect combination at Pechanga Resort Casino, official Native American resort and casino of the Los Angeles Lakers. See for yourself what made readers of Newsweek and USA Today name Pechanga the best casino outside of Las Vegas. Pechanga has world-class resort amenities, exceptional entertainment, dining, spa and golf, and 24/7 gaming excitement. The immense casino floor and 1,100 rooms and suites makes Pechanga one of the largest in the country. Skip the traffic, head for Pechanga Resort Casino off the I-15 in Temecula. Visit Pechanga.com or call 888-PECHANGA for reservations.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-575-6759. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS. Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start. Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems. We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau. You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com or call 800-575-6759. That's 800-575-6759. Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
This is Sedano and Cap for your afternoon drive.
Really? Oh, my B.
Yeah. My B.
Your B.
On 710 ESPN.
Yeah, yeah.
Rock your body,
yeah.
Everybody, rock your body right.
Backstreet's back.
Why do I still get into this song? Like when I hear this song, I get into it. Start dancing around.
This part right here, ready? Oh my God, we're back again. Like everyone has to say that. Everyone has to say it, right? If you play this song out in public, you are saying that part.
That's great.
It's a great video too.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Cappy, you a freak, man.
Oh, man. That's the one bad thing, George, by the way, is that a lot of people in our audience, and I'll call two people out by name. One, Radio Michael fan. Two, Crypto Ray. These guys have become armed and dangerous with editing equipment. So they're taking things from the show, they're editing them, they're posting them. I'm telling you, man, it's getting dangerous out there, George. Just keep your eyes out, okay?
Okay.
You might have to start training again.
My favorite is the one that Crypto Ray posted after the Eagles won the Super Bowl, and it was the clip of Serena crip walking during Kendrick's halftime show, and it had DeAndre, like the video of him dancing, like superimposed in there, like he was dancing on stage with her. That was very good. That was good.
That was very good.
Way to go, Crypto.
Shout out.
Crypto Ray. So where were we? Were we somewhere? Oh, your boy Wendy. Our boy Wendy. My boy Wendy.
Mm-hmm.
You say Wendy had something to say, huh?
Yeah, he said some stuff about Luca. So, Cappy, I know you love the conversation of whose team is it?
Last night was LeBron's team.
So, you keeping score? Is it like every day there'll be a new?
You should
be like a
keep
tally.
track. Yes.
Tonight it'll be LeBron's team too, right?
Yeah, it has to be. No,
Unless
Luka's
LeBron is
out.
unless LeBron goes, you know what? I'm not playing tonight. You guys handle this, will you?
All right. It'll be a tally. So there you go. Well, anyway, so he and Stephen A. got into this conversation, much like you setting me up in a lot of ways to like say things. Stephen A. apparently did this to Wendy. So Wendy, which I know doesn't love or care to get into these conversations all that often, had this to say about Doncic and what he needs to do moving forward.
This is now about Luka Doncic. The pressure's on Luka. You know, the Lakers, one of the number one brands in the entire sporting planet, has put their future and their present in Luka. You want to know how I know they believe in the present in Luka? Because they went out and tried to make a trade for Mark Williams when they could have made that trade any time in the last year and didn't do it. They didn't do it for LeBron and AD, and I know it got rescinded, but they don't do that deal unless they're 100% invested in Luka. The pressure is on Luka. You know, LeBron doesn't have to prove anything, and now it's not even really his franchise anymore. It's Luka's franchise. They're going to cater to him. In fact, I think what the Lakers are going to end up having to do in the short term here is get Luka to accept that the franchise is about him. Because if you look at these last few games, and it's not surprising at all, but he's totally deferring. He's standing on the side. He's passing it off to Austin Reeves. He's passing it off to LeBron. He's standing on the side. This is a guy who averaged 34 points last year. 34. He has not cracked 16 in 3 games, okay? This is a guy who is used to having everything revolve around him, who is actively not involved in offense and being a ball mover. That's not who he's going to be. The pressure is eventually going to be on him. Okay, it's not going to happen when he's coming off of an injury. It's not going to happen in the first days. But, you know, this is all about Luka. LeBron can take a bit of a break and not have to worry as much as he had in the past.
Wow. There's a lot to that. There's a lot to what Brian Windhorst just said.
All right, go. Break it down, Cappy.
Well,
I want to hear you break it down.
I mean, the first part of it is this. When he says that it's now Luka's team and it's not LeBron's team anymore, I mean, that's Wendy saying that. That's not me, okay? That's him. But I think the most important thing that he said was Luka in these first few games is deferring. Here, Austin, you take it. Here, LeBron, you take it. And you know why he's doing that, George? Because he's the new guy. And while it's very easy for all of us to sit up here and say, hey, Luka, the franchise going forward is more about you than it is about LeBron, so start playing that way. He is a human being. He is only a 25-year-old kid. He did get the rug pulled out from under his feet. His ego was bruised. He is coming off of a calf injury, and he's out there for the first few games going, I'm just trying to fit in, guys. It's your team. I just got here. So it's very hard to expect a 25-year-old kid, no matter how great of a scorer he has been, to walk through the door and look at LeBron James and go, hey, mine, not yours, mine. You give it to me, I don't give it to you. It's called respect. And he respects LeBron. So I hear what Wendy's saying, and generally I agree with everything he's saying, but it is not as easy as just walking through the door and going, my team.
No, agreed. He's got to get there. And, you know, I don't know if in that clip, I don't remember, because I'm fairly certain, though, he did say that he's got to get to that point because physically he's not there yet. But once he does, it's got to be him taking the reins. You know what I mean? Like, that's kind of, it's what I talked about when he was traded here. Like I said, LeBron needs to do for Luka what Dwayne Wade did for him. And I think that it feels like that seems to be something he's willing to do because he was doing it for AD already.
Yeah, he's just got to your point, he's got to convince Luka to do what he said when he first went on the floor that first game. Luka, be yourself. And I would say that right now, Luka is not himself for a variety of reasons. Coming off injury 1, new team 2, new teammates, new system, new coach. And by the way, I'm trying to fit in with you guys. It's your team. I just joined it. Yeah, Luka, but it's going to be your team. Okay, well, but it's not right now because LeBron is 40 and LeBron's the greatest player of the generation. And I looked up to LeBron. I had posters of him on my wall, and now I'm playing with him. So I'm trying to be respectful here. And I think that's, and combine all of that with he's not physically right yet. If he's physically right and he can score 34 points a game, good, give him the ball. Because I would have rather have had Luka take that last 2 shots last night rather than LeBron. But Luka's just not ready yet.
Well, and I want to get to something that Marcus brought up, which is that, and we've talked about this before already, which is the Lakers are kind of under the gun here a little bit. We'll get into that on the other side. But first, Cappy, tell us about your home away from home.
Yeah, the East Central Hotel is right across the street from LA Live in downtown LA. And so, look, if you're coming down and you want to go to a museum, if let's say you're going to go to the Grammy Museum, let's say you're going to go to a game next week, there are 2 games at home next week, you want to come down, you don't want to drive home. Maybe it's a weekend, maybe it's a Friday night, you want to take your lady out to a nice dinner, you want to get up in the morning, you want to walk around downtown. The place to be is the East Central Hotel. Why? 1, the location. Best location in all of downtown LA, right across the street from LA Live. 2, the biggest hotel rooms in all of downtown LA. All these mega hotels were built, but the rooms are tiny so they can pack in more people. You know the story. Here's 3. You got the Nixo Lounge, which is great for breakfast in the morning. It's also nice for a cocktail late at night. Brand new gym, the softest towels you've ever felt in your life. And in the final analysis, Robert Montez and his entire staff at the East Central, these people do it right. They treat you like family. They make you feel like you're home. Call this number, 213-748-1291, 213-748-1291, and you can visit the East Central yourself and have a hell of a good time. The East Central Hotel in downtown LA is entertainment's official address.
I've never seen those colors pop like that.
Weekdays at 9 a.m.
on 710 ESPN.
You never expect a Hail Mary pass to win and end the game or getting into an accident. Hey, it's Trav with DeMarco.
Only one all-star defense team you can call to defend you. The personal injury law offices of Joseph S. Normand. Visit normandlegal.com or call 213-747-2000.
Don't get sacked by others. Joseph will help you achieve the maximum compensation you deserve. Visit normandlegal.com or call 213-747-2000. That's 213-747-2000.
Let Joseph and his team score a touchdown for you.
Hey guys, it's Sedano. At Los Angeles International Airport, changes are arriving daily to help reduce traffic, save travelers time, and transform the travel experience. The LAX Economy parking structure is now open with thousands of smart parking spaces, as well as hundreds of EV charging stations. Modernized terminals have biometric gates for faster boarding, and in the future, the People Mover train will connect travelers to LA Metro. For more information, go to their website, flylax.com/transforming-LAX. That's flylax.com/transforming-LAX.
Prize Picks is the place to get real money sports action. With over 10 million members and billions of dollars in awarded winnings, Prize Picks has made daily fantasy sports accessible to all. You just pick more or less on at least 2 players for a shot to win up to 1,000 times your cash. Run your game all season long on Prize Picks. And Prize Picks, it's the best way to get action on sports in more than 30 states, including California, Texas, Georgia, and Florida. And Prize Picks invented the flex play, which means you can still cash out even if your lineup isn't perfect. You can double your money even if one of your picks doesn't hit. Prize Picks puts their members first, so all withdrawals are fast, safe, and secure. When my picks hit, I can get my money in as quick as 15 minutes. And Prize Picks now offers MasterCard for quick and easy deposits into your account this sports season. So download the app today and use the code TRAV to get $50 instantly after you play your first $5 lineup. That's code TRAV, T-R-A-V, for first-time users. Prize Picks. Run your game.
Hi, it's LeBron. The Lakers play here.
710 ESPN.
KSPN, Los Angeles.
A good karma brands radio station.
710 ESPN.
Sedano and Cap for your afternoon right now on 710 ESPN.
It's time for what you need to know.
Let's do it. What you need to know right now.
What you need to know is brought to you by Morongo Casino Resort and Spa. Good times, just the 90 minutes from wherever you are. Take it away, Linz.
Thanks, Sedano. All right, so what you need to know is that the NBA has handed down a significant 25-game suspension to Milwaukee Bucks forward Bobby Portis after he violated the league's anti-drug policy. But the problem is he tested positive for tramadol, which is an opioid used to treat severe pain. But apparently he thought that it was Toradol, which is on the allowed substance list by the NBA. So apparently there was some type of mix-up in the names of the drugs, and so now I guess he's going to try and appeal it, hopefully, because of the mistake.
So
you buying this? You guys buying this?
Can I just get the detail on that one more time? he was given.
He
a
thought
pill.
he was taking a Toradol pill, and he took a Tramadol pill, which is a different painkiller, and that one happened to be most recently added to the ban list. I think this past year, within a year.
Yeah, because you used to be able to get it. It wasn't even like a scheduled drug before.
Correct. So and he took the wrong pill.
And whose fault is that?
And I mean, it's his fault clearly.
No,
You gotta know
but
what you're putting in your body.
But I mean, it's like 3 different letters, and it's something where like it got overlooked, and I guess that I could kind of see
His assistant allegedly gave it to him.
His assistant gave it to him.
Well, said, "Hey, I need Toradol," and she went and got him Tramadol instead.
Okay, my answer is no, I don't believe him. And listen, I want to. I really do. But, I mean, I never believe any of these guys. Like, anytime somebody gets busted and they're like, hey, I went to GNC
but
and
I don't think
bought
this
this
is
product.
I don't believe it to be performance enhancing, though.
No, it's not. So as somebody who's taken, I've had to take Toradol for my kidney stones, which I get frequently.
Yeah, I've taken Toradol shot before.
And Tramadol for a painkiller, it's like more mild than, a narcotic because it's not considered a narcotic.
Yeah, it's not like oxycodone.
Right. So I feel like Toradol is like, that's what they give you for the worst pain in the world, a kidney stone, and Tramadol is way more mild. So I just feel like...
I would say this. I would say that there's got to be more to this if it's 25 games, because if it's just 25 games for this, it's excessive.
Well, I mean, listen, I guess my only issue is this. Is like, have you ever seen there's been a variety of athletes, whether football players all the way to cyclists, for crying out loud. I mean, I can remember a cyclist one time getting popped for steroids, and he's like, well, the meat that I ate, they fed the cows steroids, and that's how I had the steroids in my body. We're like, how do you know? So everybody comes up with a creative excuse. If you're a football player and you get popped for something and you go, well, I went to GNC and I bought this powder and I didn't see it in there and I didn't know and it wasn't listed and it's their fault, it's not my fault. I always say to everybody, hey, if you're innocent of something like this, and by the way, George, when you get suspended 25 games, I'm going to guess in the NBA you're not getting paid, right? I mean,
correct.
Okay. So if you're going to miss 25 games and you're not going to get paid, what do you suppose? Take a guess. I'm not going to quote you on it, but what do you think that he's missing out on? From a money standpoint, 10 million, 5 million, whatever it is, right? Whatever the number is.
Bobby Portis, if I recall correctly, makes like around $12 million a year. So that's a third of his salary.
Right. So, so the guy's going to miss out on $3 or $4 million. So if I'm going to miss out on $3 or $4 million over a mistake, then I'm going to blame somebody and I'm going to go do something about it.
Well, he could still fight it through the Players Association. I'm sure that might happen too.
But if let's just say that the trainer gave the wrong pill, then
wasn't the trainer, was the assistant.
Right, but where's the assistant get the pills?
Well,
I'm sure they've got all sorts of. He's probably got, if he's taking Toradol regularly, like a lot of athletes do. I'm guessing there is, probably, who knows, in his medicine cabinet, he's got this stuff available to him at this point.
It's wild, I know. Well, again, I always say to these football players who tell me that they got popped by a product that they bought over the counter, I'm like, then go sue the company and let's see, go prove that you're right. But I generally don't believe these guys when this kind of stuff happens. So, I mean, listen, I may be alone on this. I'm a natural-born skeptic. That's fair. That's fair.
I'm on the fence.
You are?
Yeah, because you do need a prescription for it. But then again, this is something where I started taking it a long time ago for rheumatoid arthritis, and it was something where you could just have your doctor prescribe it to you and pick it up, and then it turned into like a scheduled thing, and then it turned into an even higher scheduled thing where it went from being something that was just very, it was a mild painkiller, and now, like, I guess there's a lot of people who have become addicted to it, and so they have all kinds, the FDA has changed its status on it. So if it just got added to a banned substance list this past year, then I could see why something like that could happen. Especially if he's taken it in the past.
I wonder why, though, George, what you're saying is that if it's not performance enhancing, why it's on their list. Like, what is it about it?
I mean, I don't know. I mean, there's probably a reason for it, but I don't know what that specific reason would be.
You don't have a lot of pharmaceutical experience in your DNA that you could, break down, medicines for us?
I do not, Cappy. Sorry.
Okay. All right.
I'm sorry to let you down.
I know. Well, in this case, I was kind of relying on you, pal.
I mean, Dr. Clapper's coming up in a bit. He can tell us.
Yeah, maybe. Maybe he could.
I mean, he's going to talk to us about Wemby. I want to ask him about Dustin May's esophageal issue that he had.
That was wild, right?
Yeah.
I mean, totally bizarre. Anybody who doesn't know the story about Dustin May, apparently he's eating a salad. This is last year. He's eating a salad, and all of a sudden he's like, ugh, something doesn't feel right. Next thing you know, he's in a hospital having emergency surgery on his esophagus because a piece of lettuce went down the wrong tubes. Very weird. Got to be careful when you're eating lettuce, George. Very careful. Let that be a lesson to all. Feel me?
Mm-hmm.
All right, good. Good. Where were we? Were we somewhere?
We were talking about Luca, and we were talking about Wendy,
Mm-hmm.
and then we were going to get into...
Well, you did want to talk about the hockey game.
Oh, we did want to talk about the hockey. I mean, but listen, I don't think there's a lot to get. I mean, unless Cappy's got something. I got nothing to add on the hockey game.
You want me to break the whole thing down? You want me to go player by player? You want me to break it down?
I mean, the Kachuk brothers are playing, right?
Right,
You know, Austin Matthews, I just saw him walking into the locker room there. So, yeah.
Okay. What about Sidney Crosby? You looking at Sidney Crosby at all tonight?
Sid the Kid?
Yeah. You looking at Brad Marchand at all tonight?
Yeah. I know that Will McAvoy is not playing for the U.S.
How about Phil Esposito? Phil Esposito playing tonight?
Phil Esposito, I don't believe is playing these days, Cap.
You don't think so? He's not there anymore?
No.
I'm into it tonight. I will just say that. Like, I am excited for this game. The game will drop the puck at 5 o'clock. USA, Canada. Here's a question for you. Will the fans in Boston tonight be like, hey, everybody be classy. Okay, let's not boo the anthem. Or do the drunken fans of Boston hear the, oh, Canada, and then they start booing like crazy, and then everybody just starts dropping the gloves, and for the first 15, 20 seconds of this game, it's on like the break of dawn. What do you think? Early fights?
Yeah. Sure. I mean, I think there may be more action. Why not?
I like it too. I'm hoping so. There was more fighting in the first 9 seconds of that USA-Canada game on Saturday night than there has been in the entire NHL all season long. When I was a kid, I used to love going to hockey games because it was bench-clearing brawls every night. And now, I mean, first of all, guys don't fight anymore. And you certainly don't have bench-clearing fights. Not anymore. Man, back in the old days, whew, these guys would beat the ever-living hell out of each other. And I was there for it. I'm serious, dude. I'm not joking around. I grew up. My dad used to take me to hockey games. This is back in, literally the late 70s.
Mm-hmm.
We had a very short stint where we lived in Denver, Colorado.
Right.
And my dad owned a gas
Well, this
station.
was before they had a team there.
No,
like an NHL team.
No, they actually had an NHL team. The team was called the Colorado Rockies. They moved and became the New Jersey Devils.
Oh, I see.
Yeah. So this is pre-Colorado Avalanche. And this is before the Colorado Rockies of Major League Baseball.
Right.
So the Rockies were such a bad hockey team that the only thing that they did well was fight and beat people up. But they couldn't score, and they weren't good, and they were, one of the worst teams in all of the NHL. But they were great fighters. And so when you would see 40 guys on the ice dancing, it was awesome. But, hockey eliminated fighting. But yet, Canada-U.S., hey, I'm playing for what's on the front of my jersey here. Let's drop them and let's go. You don't boo my national anthem.
Yeah.
And the weird thing is just...
Although they are booing it for, there's a reason.
Well, of course.
I mean, the Canadians are pretty nice people. They weren't just booing it for no reason.
No, they're completely insulted.
They're insulted by the fact that, the President of the United States said that he wants to make them the 51st state. So there's that.
Billions and millions of people, beautiful people.
I do think... I kind of can understand why they're not happy about it.
Oh, I understand as well. But I do love the fact that a lot of these American hockey players are actually from parents that are Canadian whose dads played in the NHL, but then they settled in the United States. So mom and dad maybe are Canadian, but the kids grew up American and they play for the Team America.
Yeah.
I don't know. I find it fun, man. I think tonight's going to be a lot of fun.
Cappy, I do too, and I'm sure you'll get into it on Prize Picks. So let's talk about that. Prize Picks, by the way, is the place for you to get sports action in the state of California. Okay, it's very simple. There's a stat for these individual players in any sport imaginable, really, and you just have to pick more or less. And then you bundle them together. The more you bundle together, the more you can win. Cappy tries to go way too many, though.
Yep,
It's probably smarter just bundle a couple of them. And if you bundle as little as 4, you could potentially win up to 1,000 times your money. All you got to do is download the Prize Picks app to get started. Use the promo code Cappy, K-A-P-P-Y. Your first $5 play gets you a $50 bonus.
So yesterday, I made a big mistake. I didn't think LeBron was going to play. So I took Austin Reeves to score more than 21 points. Hey, Austin, getting kicked out of a game really in the third
I want to
quarter?
talk about that.
Yeah,
Austin Reeves
terrible.
getting kicked out of a game.
Just terrible. And then Luca, and I made the mistake. I went Luca more than 26.5 points. I don't know what I was thinking. Terrible. Now, if it wasn't for Juju Watkins and it wasn't for Mbappe, they won for me, but the Lakers really let me down. So, George, I'll make it quick. Here are my prize picks for tonight. I know people sit on the edge of their seat and they wait. Here goes. I've got Connor McDavid tonight for Team Canada for more than 2.5 shots on goal. I've got Matt Tkachuk for Team USA for more than 2.5 shots on goal. I've got Brad Marchand for Team Canada for more than 1.5 shots on goal. I've got Kristaps Porzingis tonight to have more than 13.5 points. And, George, tell me if you know who this player is. A kid by the name of Benedict Mathurin. I'm not saying his name right, am I? How do you say his name?
Benedict Mathurin.
Oh, bro, nobody knows who this kid is.
And it's Kristaps.
He's from he plays in Indiana. He's like a really good player.
Well, I've got him for more than 6.5 rebounds and assists tonight. So there you go. There's my 5 picks. There you go. Benedict Mathurin. Mathurin. How do you say
Mathurin?
Mathurin.
Yeah.
And it's Kristaps.
Yeah, I had a hard time with that one.
Yeah.
I struggled with that one.
Mathurin played at Arizona. Played college ball there.
All right. Well, I've got him tonight for more than 6.5
He's
rebounds
Canadian,
and
by the
assists.
way.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Maybe he'll get booed tonight.
I don't know, Cappy. Maybe.
There's my prize picks. Make sure you download the prize picks app. Use the code Cappy, K-A-P-P-Y. $5 play gets you the $50 bonus. What do you say to that, George Sedano?
Prize picks, run your game.
LeBron.
Here's LeBron down the middle with a thunder dunk.
Luca.
This for me is a fresh start. I get to play in LA. The fans are amazing. I got the ocean here, so it's a really big thing for me.
Lake Show. Let's go.
I getting to play for the Lakers, and everybody can say that. And many, many legends pass here, many championships. So that's my goal.
This is the home of LeBron, Luca, and the Lakers. 710 ESPN.
Accident or injury, call Jacob and Ronnie. Call Jacob.
Winning matters, especially after an accident. At calljacob.com, we're here for you when you need a big win. After an accident, go to calljacob.com or call 844-24-JACOB. That's 844-24-JACOB.
ESPN LA and Beverly Hills Orthodontics are teaming up because we want to know who's smiling in SoCal. Go to ESPNLA.com and nominate who you think is making LA a better place. This can be a mentor, a teacher, a coach, a good Samaritan, a youngster who brightens your day. Tell us who's smiling and you could win some awesome prizes like sweet tickets from ESPN LA, Sonic Care electric toothbrushes, whitening treatment, and a grand prize of Invisalign from Beverly Hills Ortho. Enter now at ESPNLA.com and remember you're always smiling at Beverly Hills Orthodontics.
Hey, it's Steve Farr. Is there a sporting event you always wanted to go to but never had time to plan? That's where Absolute Sport comes in. They handle everything, tickets, hotels, VIP access, so you can just live in the moment and enjoy the experience. And because of their trusted league and travel partnerships, they can get you the best deals and actually save you money. So what are you waiting for? Visit us.absolute-sport.com. That's ABSOLUT-sport and make your sports dream a reality.
Are you in the hunt for an exciting new job in the world of professional sports and entertainment? Legends Hospitality is thrilled to announce our hiring fair this Saturday, February 22nd and Sunday, February 23rd from 8 a.m. to 12 p.m. at SoFi Stadium. We're looking for enthusiastic candidates for part-time positions in catering, concessions, merchandise, culinary, and more. Enjoy competitive wages and a flexible schedule. Whether you're seeking valuable experience or looking to boost your income, we have a role that's perfect for you. We'll be conducting on-the-spot interviews, so come ready to impress. To enter the stadium, please use Pinkay Avenue and Barris Drive and park in Lot E, where you can check in at VIP Entry 11. Don't forget to visit legends.net/careers to explore our current openings and apply now. That's legends.net/careers. Don't miss this incredible opportunity. Your future starts here.
Texting enrolls you in a recurring automated marketing text messages. Consent not required to purchase. Message and data rates may apply.
The team's looking good this season.
I think so. Man, I miss playing football. Being young with unlimited energy to burn. Ever since I turned 40, I just can't find that fire I used to have.
Think you could be lower testosterone?
What do you mean?
All guys lose their edge when they turn 40. The body has less testosterone. That's why I take Nugenix Total T.
I've heard about Nugenix. That really works?
Since I started taking Nugenix, I'm lifting like when we played for Coach Carter. I feel more energized at work. It's even spiced up things between me and the missus.
Are they still giving out complimentary bottles for people to try?
Yep, send a text. It's that easy.
Text KING to 424 2424 right now for your complimentary bottle of Nugenix Total T. It's the #1 selling testosterone boosting brand at GNC and Walmart. Do it now and they'll also send you a bottle of Nugenix Thermo X, their newest, most powerful fat burner ever, absolutely free. Text KING to 42424. That's KING to 42424. These statements have not been evaluated by the FDA. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.
This is Sedano and Cap for your afternoon drive.
How is that related?
On 710 ESPN.
I like this song.
Is this Drops with Jupiter or whatever? Drops with Jupiter? Or no?
It is.
Yeah.
Is that what the name of the song is? Drops of Jupiter?
He says it.
Hey, hey, hey.
I mean, that kind of is a giveaway.
Uh.
I don't know who
sings
sings
the
it
song?
though.
I don't know
Is
either.
this one of those? Is this on this day or something? Hold on, let me look through here.
Yes.
Somebody give me a hint. Don't tell me the band. Give me a hint.
Oh, you'll never guess this. I had no idea who this
Come
is.
on, give me a hint though. Try.
Okay, I'll give you a hint. Ready?
All right, go ahead.
It's a method of transportation.
The cars? No, not the cars. The buses? No, the trains. Train.
Yeah, train. There you
Oh, how about that? You see the way I worked that out? I workshopped it right there on the air.
go. It was like a $25,000 pyramid question for you.
Yeah, well, I knew it wasn't the cars, but then you said
Right.
another cars, bus. Okay, not bus. No, nobody. Bus. Train. The trains. No, not the trains. Just train.
Right.
See? Worked it all out.
There you have it.
Good hint by you.
You're welcome.
Thanks a hell of a lot.
Yeah. What else? Who else's birthday is today? Trevor Noah birthday today. Kurt Cobain, may he rest in peace. Sidney Poitier, may he
Hey,
rest in peace.
how old would Kurt Cobain be today?
1967, so he would be
Okay.
58.
58. Yeah. Wow, Kurt Cobain, 58. How about that? That's a long time ago, too, man. That's got to be, what, the early 90s? I mean, he was a young
passed
guy.
away in the mid-90s.
Yeah.
94, it says here. Yeah.
Yeah, so young guy. So he was about 27.
Yeah.
Wow.
Terrible, huh?
Yeah, that one, and one that happened many, many years later, just from the same genre of music, was Chris Cornell, who was the lead singer of Soundgarden. And
not as familiar. I mean, obviously I know Soundgarden, but not as familiar with Chris Cornell as an individual.
Oh, no, Chris Cornell, for anybody who's like me, who just loves that sort of grungy 90s rock, Seattle
Right.
rock.
When you had your man bun.
Right. Oh, you know it. Chris Cornell, of all of them, I mean, Kurt Cobain, Eddie Vedder, I mean, all the guys that became like big stars, Chris Cornell was far and away the best singer of them all.
Oh, well, there you have it.
And he actually, it was not until he was in his 50s where, that happened to him. And, when I watched, I was like, what the hell, man? You're successful. You got a great family. You're loaded. You're a rock star. You're a big superstar. You're doing that now at 50, but you just never know what's wrong with people. And especially when it comes to mental health,
There's no question about it, Cappy. That's for sure.
Mm-hmm.
So, well, may he rest in peace as well.
Amen.
Also today on this day, on a more happy note,
Tell me.
Batman and Robin comic strip premiered in newspapers in 1944. And in 1968, this one for our friend Christopher, the show Columbo premiered on NBC.
Hey, shout out to Christopher is right on. George, I did go down to his house on Tuesday night.
I know you told us.
Spent quite a bit of time. Had dinner with Christopher
that's
Arthur
nice.
Morales on Tuesday night.
Mm-hmm.
We'll tell everybody, because I know there's been a lot of people out there saying, what's going on? What's the deal? How is he? We wish for a speedy recovery. He is on the road to recovery.
On the mend, as I like to say.
I will just say, though, that the road to recovery is not like a block or two. The road to recovery is it's a somewhat long road.
Yeah, I would say it's like driving from like south to downtown LA.
Big time. That's 100 miles right there. It's 100 miles. And he's about 20 miles in right about now.
Yeah. All right, Cappy, let's talk about some other stuff here. So
Okay.
I had mentioned that I think that the Lakers are on the clock here a bit under the gun, per se. And it's because of Luca. And Marcus had mentioned that to us previously when we were doing crosstalk very briefly, because we spent most of the time, uncovering,
Comparing
who said
resumes.
what to who and how it all happened with DeMarco and Beto, and then me and you somehow got involved, mostly because of you.
I blame
but nonetheless,
Marcus for everything. I think it's all Marcus Grant's fault.
Yeah. Anyway, but he did ask about Luca signing the extension, which, by the way, interestingly enough, the genesis of the DeMarco Beto issue was that.
Yep.
And I side with DeMarco on that. I don't think it's like a given just yet, like by any stretch of the imagination. I think this is very much still in the prove it to me phase.
Right, but I think that Beto comes at it like a lot of Laker fans come at it.
Oh, it's always happened. It's only
Right.
been one. There's only been one guy who didn't do it. It was Dwight
Right.
Howard, blah, blah,
Yeah.
blah, yada, yada. I get it. History says yes, but to DeMarco's point, it doesn't mean that it's always a given. It's not foolproof. It's not batting 1,000. And, you know, none of us are Claire bleeping voyant.
Right, and if you're Luca, I don't personally know this, but he would know, and you might actually know. Like if you were in Dallas for the Mavericks, and I don't know what the Mavericks facilities are in comparison to the Lakers facilities, but he's already played in a finals for the Mavericks, and let's see what happens in his time with the Lakers. The point is that when you're a player and you're in control, you know, you compare all of these things. And so here's what I think the issue is that Laker fans, and guys, you're going to have to work with me here on this, Lakers fans are so arrogant as to believe that once Luca comes, he'll never leave, because why would he want to play anywhere other than in L.A., and why would he want to play for any other franchise other than the Lakers? And
I
that's
heard
the
you.
belief.
DeAndre, what were you about
That's
to
like
say?
sacrilege, Cap, to say that.
Well, there is such a thing as Lakers exceptionalism. I mean, Cabby used the word arrogant, but there is a semblance of arrogance with Lakers exceptionalism, sure.
No, there's not.
DeAndre, were you going to chime in there? I thought I heard you say.
No, I'm just listening. Yeah,
Okay.
Really?
Damn, dog.
Really? Dog? Really, dog? I mean, don't you think, though, that like most Laker fans think that it is an automatic...
Yes, that it's a given.
Luke,
That
right.
is, yes. It
Right.
is written in the tablets, yes.
Right. He'll never leave because he plays for the greatest brand in the history of basketball.
It is the most influential brand in basketball. There's no
That's
question.
what Wendy, the word he used to describe it, like one of the greatest brands ever in the history of sports.
Right.
Yeah. But here's what I would say.
Tell me.
If I were in Luca's shoes and I can opt out in 2026, you only get so many bites at the apple, right, to be a free agent in your life. And in basketball, it doesn't happen very often at all anymore. I mean, in any sport, really. I mean, the best players don't get to free agency in football either, for that matter, or baseball, rarely, anymore. If you get that chance, I mean, I'd take it. I mean, LeBron's done it.
Okay, go ahead. Oh, my bad.
No,
go.
No, I was saying, haven't the Lakers kind of shown it right now as far as like trying to acquire Mark Williams, because everyone's saying that Luca wanted
right,
them
but
to
they
go out
didn't.
Obviously, it didn't work out. Obviously, due to the physical failing and stuff like that. But I'm saying, like, having the Lakers have shown, like, hey, look, this is what we can do for you if you were to extend with us. We're able to cater to you and go out and get who you want.
Right, sure. And Mark Williams
ass kissing is what that is.
Was who was available, I guess. But it's not like Mark Williams is like Kareem, you know what I mean? Or like Shaq, you know what I'm saying? Like he's not even, I'm not being, and this is not being disrespectful. It's not Michael Thompson for that matter. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Well,
so,
the agent for this kid, Mark Williams, his name
Jeff
is
Schwartz,
Jeff
who's been around forever. Yes,
he
a
had
very
quote,
prominent agent.
He had a quote today, and he says this: "The overwhelming sentiment after conferring with multiple nationally recognized doctors is that the Los Angeles Lakers should not have failed Mark Williams on his physical. Mark was ready and able to play for them and should have been given the opportunity." So there seems to be, George, this underlying accusation that the Lakers intentionally failed Mark Williams in his physical. Why would they have done such a thing? If, by the way, it is true. Is it because they realized he's not really that good of a player and we gave up a little too much? Is it because they wanted to pacify Luca and say, hey, we'll do anything it takes, man. We want you to stay. We'll make a trade for you right now to help you win. I mean, everybody is like on this train of they intentionally failed him, but we're not exactly sure why. What do you think?
I don't have an answer for you, Cappy. I'm not going to recklessly speculate about it because I don't think it's worth it, to be honest with you. And we may never know based on, whatever HIPAA laws or whatever and confidentiality there is in regards to this stuff. But it is fascinating, I think, that the agent is putting that out there, like saying, hey, my guy's good. As a matter of fact, he played yesterday, you know what I'm saying, against the Lakers.
Yeah.
So it is odd. It puts certainly everyone in a very precarious situation. And again, Jeff Schwartz is not just some guy. Like, he's probably had in his career 30 or 40, 50 NBA clients in his career, like somewhere in that range. You know what I mean? Like, so it's not like he's just some dude, you know what I mean, from an agenting standpoint.
Maybe the flip side from an agent standpoint is, hey, look, my guy is now known as damaged goods. And
right, and that's probably part of it, too.
Yeah,
like, he
so
wants
I
to
gotta
make
get
sure
ahead of
that
this.
that's the case.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
I mean, he represents Nikola Jokic and Jamal Murray, I believe, as well. So, you know.
Well, it just goes back to what you were saying, though, DeAndre. Is like
Amongst many. You know.
Is it an automatic that Luca will stay with the Lakers? I don't know that. Do I think he'll stay with the
Would
Lakers?
you test free agency? If you were you're 20 in 2026, he's going to be 26 years old or 27 years old, okay? Would you test free agency if you could?
You'll do this for me. Explain to me the financials of it all, okay? In other words,
there is no difference. Right now, the Lakers can't pay him a penny more than anyone else.
okay, so what you're asking then is if the dollars are the same in Denver, if the dollars are the same in Charlotte, if the dollars are the same in Portland, they're the exact same dollars that he'll make from the Lakers,
Right now, the only way it becomes different is if he signs a short-term deal with the Lakers, and this gets a little complicated, but basically if he signs like a 2-year deal or a 3-year deal with the Lakers, which is what he could do. That's the shortest deal he could sign, extension-wise. If he does that, then he can eventually make more money with the Lakers because they don't have his he hasn't, because he lost out on the Supermax. He can't regain that kind of cash until he hits 10 years of service.
Okay.
And the only way he could do that and by the way, he could do that with anybody. It doesn't have to be the Lakers. But if he signs a shorter-term deal, then he can get back to that Supermax kind of money on his next deal. But my point is, yes, the Lakers can't offer him, to my knowledge, in today's economics with the NBA and the salary cap, they can't offer him anything more than anyone else can.
Okay, so then to answer your question, my answer is no. I would not test free agency. I would sign the shorter-term deal with the Lakers. I would make as much money as I can playing. I would take advantage of wearing the Laker uniform and being in L.A. I'd make as much money off the floor as I could. And then 2 or 3 years later, however it shakes out, then I would go for the big money, which I guess at that point what you're saying is he would be able to get that Supermax contract from the Lakers. Is that right?
Correct. He would only be able to get it. Whoever he signs that short-term deal with, he could get the Supermax from after that because he'd have 10 years with the service.
Right. So then my answer is no. I would not test free agency. I'd stay with the Lakers.
Okay. Yeah, I would test free agency. Why not? You have nothing to lose.
Well, I mean, the only thing is that if you can't get paid more somewhere else, then the only reason you would actually leave the Lakers is
what if
you don't
there's a
believe
better situation to win?
Well, that's just it. Right. To win. That's right. That's right. If Denver
that's what
said-
I'm saying. Like,
Yeah.
because it's why I've said that this time with him is incredibly important.
Right, because playing for the Lakers that we all think everybody's obsessed with, he may not be obsessed with. And if all of a sudden you told him one day, hey, guess what? You have a better chance of winning a championship in the next 5 years or multiple championships with Houston, and you're going to make the same money in Houston as you're going to make in L.A., and he thinks, well, I'm more about championships than I am about money, then yeah, at that point he could leave. If you only care about lifestyle and brand, then you stay with the Lakers, regardless of whether you win or not.
Correct. And look, we can get further into this on the other side. We have Radio Tinder coming up next, so we can do that. But I do think I don't think this is a small thing. And until he signs that extension, whatever version of it he signs, which I would imagine would be the shorter one, I would be I would just say, like, the Lakers need to act like they have to prove it to him moving forward. So.
Amazing.
Why amazing?
No, just because it's like the whole organization is like, hey, Luca, we love you. We want you. We traded for you. You're the future. It's going to be your team. And we'll do anything to kiss your ass to make sure that you're happy and comfortable. What else do you need us to do? Tell us. What do you need? Cold plunge? We'll get you a cold plunge. You need some kind of sauna that you like? You prefer this kind of sauna? Then we'll get that one for you too. What do you want to do for catering? You tell us. What do you like for lunch? You tell us. We'll get it for you. Right? That's what I'm saying.
All right, let's get to Radio Tinder. We can get back to that in a sec. But first, and also, by the way, after that, we got Dr. Clapper who's going to join us.
How are you?
Yeah. So we can get into all this stuff again in the 5 o'clock hour because Stephen A. actually called JJ out, interestingly enough, I thought today. But first, ESPN LA, the Lakers, and BBGO are teaming up to find the Lakers Gafote, the greatest fan of all time. Enter by telling us your favorite Lakers memory and posting it to social media. You must follow at ESPN Los Angeles and must hashtag with Lakers Gafote. That's Lakers GFOAT. And make sure you hashtag promotion as well. So hashtag Lakers Gafote, hashtag promotion. I know that was a lot. Okay, trust me when I tell you. But all these directions are on this website, LakersGafote, GFOAT.com. That's LakersGafote, GFOAT.com for more information. You can win 2 seats, okay, courtside seats, okay, for a future Lakers game and a year's worth of BBGO. Get to LakersGafote.com.
Mason and Ireland.
Can you do a cartwheel, John, if you were pressed?
I used to be able to, but I haven't done it in so long.
I've not done a cartwheel in a really long time. I'm sure I can.
The biggest show on the radio, weekdays at noon.
On 710 ESPN.
You never expect a Hail Mary pass to win and end the game or getting into an accident. Hey, it's Trav with DeMarco.
Only one all-star defense team you can call to defend you. The personal injury law offices of Joseph S. Normand. Visit NormandLegal.com or call 213-747-2000.
Don't get sacked by others. Joseph will help you achieve the maximum compensation you deserve. Visit NormandLegal.com or call 213-747-2000. That's 213-747-2000.
Let Joseph and his team score a touchdown for you.
Located in the heart of downtown Los Angeles, Crypto.com Arena is pulling back the curtain
and unveiling new behind-the-scenes VIP tours,
which offer an exclusive look inside one of the world's most iconic sports and entertainment venues. Expert guides will lead small groups through spaces that have hosted legendary sports championships, world-renowned concerts, and epic award shows. Guests will also explore the venue's VIP areas and experience the arena's latest renovations. For more info, visit cryptoarena.com/tours.
Hey, it's Cap. Thinking about selling your home? Seller's Advantage makes it easy. No agents, no commissions, no open houses, and no costly repairs. With Seller's Advantage, we'll make you a fair, competitive cash offer with no surprises. Check out what one of the sellers had to say. Seller's Advantage was a lot easier, faster, and more rewarding than listing my house. I worried about getting a low offer, but theirs matched the value I was hoping for and much higher than their competitors. They gave me time to decide, and the process was friendly, fast, and anxiety-free. I highly recommend Seller's Advantage. Call Seller's Advantage today. 888-390-AS-IS, 888-390-AS-IS, 888-390-2747, or visit sellersadvantage.com for your free, no obligation cash offer. That's sellersadvantage.com.
DRE number 01961658.
Don't worry, sell happy with Seller's Advantage.
Michelle Smallman here. Want to be at the draft in Green Bay, Wisconsin? Travel Wisconsin is sending 10 lucky fans and a guest to the draft. Experience the thrill of the draft firsthand and make memories that will last a lifetime. Don't wait. Enter Travel Wisconsin's Dream Draft Sweepstakes. Visit travelwisconsin.com/draft to learn how you can win a trip to experience the biggest moment of the offseason. Epic moments that become lifelong memories are waiting to be discovered across Wisconsin. Terms and conditions apply.
I had the worst dream last night. You were in a car crash, and the kids and I were on our own. We had to move out of the house because I couldn't afford it anymore.
That's awful, hon.
My brother was saying he got life insurance from Ethos. With Ethos, it only took 10 minutes, and he got $2 million in coverage for around $2 a day. It's all online. No medical exam. He just answered a few health questions right from his house.
Ethos, here we come.
Visit GetEthos.com. That's GetEthos.com.
Sample rate is a 10-year term life policy for 35-year-old healthy, non-smoking male. Billed monthly.
And it is Sedano and Cap. Around 5:30 p.m. in the Southland, Radio Tinder time. We like to play a TV theme. You can follow her at Lindsay Baseball on Twitter or Instagram. Don't forget about our sponsor, Tequila Mandala. Always swipe right on Tequila Mandala. Take it away, producer Lindsay.
What is this from?
I'd like a hint. Like a hint?
Okay, hold
Sounds-
on. Let me figure it out.
I feel like you guys should know it.
Sounds like a 70s, like, Saturday night kind of a show, you know? Or maybe it sounds a little Disney-like.
Yeah, I'm not familiar with it.
All right, Linz, give me a hint.
It's Columbo.
It is Columbo?
Well, that's
I
what
didn't-
I mean. Honestly, neither DeAndre or I have ever seen it, and so that we play. There's like two versions, but this one is like the same tune. It's just a little bit like updated, more updated. That's what YouTube says.
I don't remember Columbo. the
Too
theme
bad Christopher isn't here to correct us if we are wrong, but that's
Yeah.
what YouTube told us is his theme.
song. Okay, fair enough. I mean, I'll take your word for it.
Never seen Columbo. Still,
Yeah,
still
I
haven't gotten
really
on
don't
the
feel
train.
like I know much about Columbo either, and I'm the old guy of the show.
Yeah. By the way,
Even though I
today's
look
also
like the young guy.
National Love Your Pet Day. What are you doing for Chewy today?
I'm going to love him like I always
Aw,
do.
Okay.
How about Jack and Benny? What are you guys doing for Jack and Benny?
Benny's in the crate right now in the other in the living room because Kelly and the kids are away right now, and we play like Beethoven for him. It soothes him.
Oh, you're gonna culture your doggy. That's nice. I'm a little mad at Jack right now. I had recently had my carpets cleaned at my house,
And he
then
pooped on it?
Jack proceeded to then take a giant dump. And by the way, like, not solid, if you know what I'm saying.
Ew.
Gross.
What did he
Such a
eat?
pain in the ass. I don't know. Some kind of chimichurri chicken my son fed
Oh
him
my
or
gosh!
something.
Don't let him feed him people food.
Yeah, what's
I
wrong?
mean, you want to extend his life. I mean, he's getting old. You got to like be very strict about his diet. Don't let him eat people food. That's terrible for
So
dogs.
chimichurri chicken, not good.
I mean, think of what it does to your stomach, Cappy.
Yeah, that is
Maybe
true.
if you were like giving him like a little like a blueberry or something, but chimichurri chicken, like
Blueberry.
Yeah,
I mean, I don't know,
blueberries
it's
are
like a
good.
little
They're-
bit of fruit or something, okay? But
Yes,
like, yeah,
they're good antioxidants. They help your dog live longer. Come on, Justin, get it together. No
Come on, Justin.
chimichurri chickens for Jack.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
All right. So, guys, speaking of stomachs,
Yeah.
Dunkin' has announced that it's going to quit charging coffee drinkers extra for non-dairy milk. Those who prefer to add soy, oat, or almond to their coffee will no longer have to pay the 50 cents more as of next month.
Oh, that's nice.
This news comes a year after a $5 million class action discrimination lawsuit was filed by lactose-intolerant Dunkin' fans.
Damn, I should have gotten in on that.
I know, right? That's what I'm thinking, too. They suggested that Dunkin' created a separate, higher-priced menu aimed at customers who cannot ingest milk. So I, for one, think regular milk from a cow is disgusting, like absolutely disgusting, and it also does
But
not
don't you
agree
like
with
ice
me.
cream?
Yeah, but it's not. I mean, like the smell and the taste of just plain old milk itself is not good.
I don't have plain old milk. I'm with you, but I mean,
Well, I have
you know,
to. I
I
have
still
to
like
take,
ice cream.
I have to consume lactate if I'm going to have like milk or a lot of cheese or anything. So I'm definitely lactose intolerant, which I guess like more than half of Americans are. It's not natural to drink another mammal's milk. But anyway, regardless.
Not?
No, it's
No,
not.
it's not.
We're the only
didn't know that.
species that does it.
Yeah.
So,
Oh, really?
do you guys take milk with your coffee or regularly consume milk? Swipe left or
No,
swipe right.
I'm usually if I have coffee, it's black usually. I don't even put sugar in it, to be honest with you. I guess sometimes on that machine we have there, I'll do like a regular espresso, just with no additives, and then maybe I'll mix it with like one of the vanilla espressos that adds vanilla to it, but it doesn't add milk to it. It adds just vanilla flavoring.
Right.
Yeah, I am. I can't remember the last time I've had just regular milk. And if I were going to have regular milk, I wouldn't have whole milk. I would have like
2%.
Yeah, well, no, fat-free. It used to be called skim milk,
Skim
but now
milk.
it's called fat-free
It's not
milk.
called skim milk anymore?
I don't think so. I think it's called fat-free milk. But I haven't had milk in a really, really, really long time. I don't
Remember,
drink
milk
any
used to be a thing. Like Big Milk was always advertising. Used sports guys a lot usually
Well,
back in the day.
also remember the whole ad campaign, Got
Yes,
Milk?
Got Milk.
Got
with
milk,
the
right?
whole
Yeah, with the
milk mustache.
milk mustache, right?
Which I found out years later, like everyone thought that it was just like, oh yeah, they want you to be healthy. This is like a government thing. Everyone should be drinking milk, calcium, good for your bones.
No, it was Big Milk.
It was Big Milk. They just paid money because they wanted you to buy the milk, just like any other
Big
company.
Milk. Big milk,
Big
like
Milk
Big
will get
Pharma,
you.
huh?
Yes,
Oh, really?
exactly like Big Pharma.
So I will just say this, that I always use a creamer in my coffee. I'm addicted to a sweet cream. I think the brand is called Chobani, I think is the name of the brand.
Chobani,
I
like
think.
the Greek yogurt?
Yeah, I'm not 100% sure if it's the exact same. I think it is, but I use this sweet cream in my coffee every day. But that's not milk, is it?
I don't know what kind it is because it could have milk. It could be a dairy product. It could have
Right.
milk in it, but
Yeah.
it could also be one that's like the Coffee Mate one that is no milk product in it whatsoever.
By the way, I do have actually an interesting side note story to tell here because this happens to me frequently, and I told my wife about this. So today I told her, hey, I'm going to go run some errands, and I'm going to go to I got to go to Trader Joe's too. So let me know if you need anything. And I always offer, like, hey, if I'm out, just let me know. I'll just grab it. And she's like, yeah, I'll text you. So she was busy working or whatever. And this always happens to me. I'm literally checking out and walking into the car.
Right,
and then
she
I get
needs
the text.
Right, what she
Then
needs.
the text comes in.
Yeah.
And I was just like,
well, do you tell her
serious?
like you're already gone, or do you actually go
Well,
back in and
sometimes,
get it?
I mean, if I'm already like by the house, then it's like I'll just be like, hey, I guess I'll turn around and get it. But like I had just walked into the car and saw the text.
Mm-hmm.
So I was like, I went in, and it was like for Parmesan, grated Parmesan, because we're making like chicken parm today.
You got to have that.
Correct.
Yeah.
And then I get here, and so I go in back. I get it. It's fine. Like I had already gotten the stuff. No big deal. But I called her to say, hey, this literally happens all the time. She's like, well, I'm sorry. Like I just, I didn't realize that you were leaving. Yeah, you should have
Think
called
about
me.
how
Like,
think about how bad it would be if you guys were doing what me and Rachel do, which is where we track each other. Because she'll say to me, "Hey, can you, if you haven't left the grocery store, can you make sure you get this?" And I'm like, "I already left." And she's like, "No, I'm
you
looking
didn't.
at you on Find Mine. You're busted."
So
you totally would do that too.
So then I get here, we still have grated Parmesan, and I'm like, so I went back inside. We already have grated Parmesan. So I was like, oh, come on.
Now you have extra. Now you got to make extra chicken.
Now we got to
parm.
make a lot of stuff, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I told her just use the one that's open already, and we'll keep this one sealed.
Yep.
I do like.
But
a
it
nice
is.
chicken
I
parm.
always have a terrible knack to like walk into the car, like when she texts me about whatever it is she needs. Like, come on, like seriously. Anyway, go ahead.
Like,
What's
come on,
next?
man. You can't end a rant with just "come on, man."
No, you cannot end the rant with "Come on, man."
Yeah. Well, but that's not really a rant. That
I
was
know.
just more of
Well, it kind of was a little
like
bit.
amusing.
It's a small piece of commentary, really.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay.
Come on, Andy.
By the way, when I was back in Cleveland recently and over the holidays, my mom drinks, she drinks, like she eats a lot of cereal, oatmeal, and she uses like 2% milk for that. And I remember running out of almond milk because that's what I drink. And I was just like, I really, really want some cereal. So like I poured myself a bowl of cereal and I poured the milk in there, just like opening the milk and like pouring it out. I was like, ugh. Like it made me want to gag. It smells so bad. Like it smells like a barn. Like I don't know how people drink it.
I don't smell a barn when I smell
I do.
milk, but I haven't really like smelt milk.
You haven't smelled milk?
I haven't smelt milk.
It's been a while since you smelt milk.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, we better go because I got to call Dr.
What's
Clapper.
next? Oh, we got Clapper? All right, we're done. All right, that's Radio Tinder. Clapper's coming up next. We'll talk to Dr. Clapper. How are you? I want to ask him about Wemby.
Yeah,
I
me
want to
too.
ask him about Dustin May.
Mm-hmm.
So, want to talk to him about all this stuff. But first, Cappy, my home away from home. LAX changes arriving daily to reduce traffic, save travelers time, transform the traveler experience. The LAX economy parking structure is now open with thousands of smart parking spaces as well as hundreds of EV charging stations. Modernized terminals have biometric gates for faster boarding, and a new facility will soon all have all these major rental car brands under one roof for when your friends and family come to visit. And in the future, get this, if you're local, you don't even need a car to go to LAX. The People Mover train will connect travelers to LA Metro. Yep, you can take the Metro right to the Century Station, and the People Mover train will pick you up right there and take you right to your terminal. For more information, check out the website, flylax.com. For more info, that's flylax.com.
Somehow, some way, the superstars end up in Los Angeles.
You don't come here for nothing else than championship, so I have everything left to prove, so the goal is to win the championship.
Welcome home, Luca.
Back to Luca. Luca step back, another three. Hit it again. And Luca has swished 2 threes.
What does this mean for the Lakers' chances at another chip? I guess it's time to find out.
Luca still dribbling, wide open for 3. Good.
It's a gift. We're talking about a 25-year-old that is top 3 player in the universe.
I get to play in the greatest club in the world, and I'm excited for this new journey.
I can't think of a more amazing starting point to build a roster for the next decade, and I know he has the drive to win that we have here. Our fans are going to see that every night on the court.
This is the home of the Lakers and the new home of Luca. 710 ESPN. Are you in the hunt for an exciting new job in the world of professional sports and entertainment? Legends Hospitality is thrilled to announce our hiring fair this Saturday, February 22nd and Sunday, February 23rd from 8 a.m. to 12 p.m. at SoFi Stadium. We're looking for enthusiastic candidates for part-time positions in catering, concessions, merchandise, culinary, and more. Enjoy competitive wages and a flexible schedule. Whether you're seeking valuable experience or looking to boost your income, we have a role that's perfect for you. We'll be conducting on-the-spot interviews, So come ready to impress. To enter the stadium, please use Pinkay Avenue and Barris Drive and park in Lot E, where you can check in at VIP Entry 11. Don't forget to visit legends.net/careers to explore our current openings and apply now. That's legends.net/careers. Don't miss this incredible opportunity. Your future starts here.
Are you ready to make a difference for the environment while helping the visually impaired at the same time? Then donate your vehicle to Heritage for the Blind today by calling 1-800-983-6530. Every donated vehicle will either be properly recycled in an eco-friendly manner or given a new life through reuse. Donating your vehicle is easy. Simply call 1-800-983-6530 and Heritage for the Blind will do the rest. They'll even arrange for your vehicle to be picked up at no cost to you. And for a limited time, when you donate your car, you'll receive a $200 restaurant voucher and a 2-night, 3-day hotel stay at one of 50 locations. Call 1-800-983-6530 right now to schedule your vehicle donation and make a positive impact on the environment while helping others. Heritage for the Blind, where every car donation counts and every person makes a difference. Call 1-800-983-6530 now. This advertisement is paid for by Heritage for the Blind.
This is Sedano and Cap for your afternoon drive.
Walks around like a little puppy dog.
On 710 ESPN.
Wow. More Rihanna. All right, Sedano and Cap. Cappy, Dr. Clapper is going to join us here.
My man.
He knows more about the hip than the hop, as he likes to say.
Yes, I do.
So, Dr. Clapper, let me ask you this.
Yeah.
This Wemby thing, it's just so bad for the NBA. It's terrible.
Another bad thing for the NBA this week.
I mean, it's been a rough few days. So, deep vein thrombosis. I am fairly familiar with it because when many years ago, Chris Bosh had this, and it ended his career. Now his was caught clearly much later, and he had several bouts with it. What are, they're saying Wemby's going to make a recovery and he should be fine, but he's out for this season. What are some of the dangers of deep vein thrombosis and how you are able to understand how quickly you can catch it and in regards to the medical attention that he needs?
So you ready for a Clapper vision, George?
Sure.
All right. I want you all to visualize a river, not the LA River, but a real river, like the Hudson River, where you have a Mississippi River. Because a Clapper vision, the arteries that go through your legs, go through your arms, that go from your heart all the way to the tips of your fingers are these pipes, and it's like a river, and the blood is the water. Now, if you want to stop the flow of that blood through the pipe, the river of blood, the artery, you on a river would build a dam. It's a structural blockage, and now the flow stops because you built a dam. Well, there's another way to stop the water from flowing, and that is to change the temperature. If all of a sudden you froze the water, it becomes ice, it's a solid, and now it doesn't flow anymore. When you talk about a DVT, a deep vein thrombosis, in 2019, Brandon Ingram also had a blood clot in his shoulder, and it was due to essentially a dam, a structural blockage to the flow of the blood down his arm and his shoulder because he had something called thoracic outlet syndrome. When he lifts his arm above his head, the first rib would pinch the artery. It's a structural thing like a dam. And Brandon Ingram had a blood clot because of it. He had surgery, and lo and behold, the next year he's an all-star. So we can fix blood clots that come for structural reasons very effectively. You take blood thinner for a month or two afterwards, and then you're back in the NBA and become an all-star. Mm-hmm. Chris Bosh is different. His blood clot is the temperature, if you will, of the river got colder, it became ice. The trouble was within the blood itself. There's no structural stoppage of the flow because Chris Bosh had a hypercoagulable state. In other words, the blood itself put him at risk. It wasn't a structural thing. So it's a whole different reason for the flow to stop. And I'm extremely optimistic that Wemby, when he has his workup, because if it's an upper extremity DVT, not lower extremity, you're going to see Wemby back in the NBA, being the all-star that he is, and please don't worry.
But, Doc, I mean, you got to go back to the beginning for those of us that when I heard thrombosis, I thought it was an instrument. So, I mean, I really did not know what it was. I'm not joking.
Right.
And when you say blood clot, I'm like, well, then why don't they call it a blood clot? I mean, here's a kid who's, what is he, George, 19, 20 years old? Is this a result of, is this a health thing, or is this is this caused by an injury of some sort? Like what's the root of something like this?
Good question, Cappy. The root is when, and if we see 100 blood clots, 90 to 95 of them are like Chris Bosh. They're in the lower extremity. Chris Bosh got hit in the calf, he said, and then he got on an airplane, and he felt that exacerbated. And then he was short of breath because the thrombus, the blood clot, traveled to his lungs. Mm-hmm. This is different in Wemby. It's more like a Brandon Ingram because it's the 4 to 10% that are upper extremity clots. It's much rarer. But when you do so much overhead activity, and I'm going to thank my vascular surgeon friend Clark Fuller for this. I'm a carpenter. He's a plumber. He's a vascular surgeon. I'm an orthopedic surgeon. But when you do so much overhead activity like a basketball player does, and you're kinking, you're putting a dent in that pipe, that trauma causes the flow to slow down, and the blood then clumps and becomes a clot. That's the thrombosis. So it's due to the overhead activity that he's doing, and the question is, why is it kinking? Now, it could be an extra rib. It could be a tough ligament. This is the whole idea of thoracic outlet syndrome. But Wemby right now is getting worked up for, is it in the river, is it in the blood, or is it structural? And I believe it's most likely structural. They're going to find out, and he's going to be okay.
Mm-hmm. All right, so obviously they rule him out for the rest of the season, understandably so. So you're saying training camp next year, he should be good to go probably?
Yes. And again, I'm not taking care of him, but right. I'm just telling you with all that I know, I'm here right now with your prize picks or whatever you guys love to do.
Yeah.
I would bet the whole table that Wemby's coming back.
But aren't blood clots, because I don't really know a lot about this stuff, but aren't blood clots like really, really dangerous for people?
They are really, really dangerous, and they happen for one of three reasons. Either the river freezes, we call it a hypercoagulable state, which is, you're prone to them. You either have the fact that the blood's not flowing because it is just like getting on an airplane for too long and stuff like that it's kinked, or it's a structural thing, or there's blood vessel damage. It's one of those three things. We call it the Virchow triad. And they're very dangerous because if the clot travels to your lungs, you stop breathing, you die. I mean, this is the reason you absolutely have to take this as serious as it gets.
Wow. George, what is he, 19 or 20 years old, Wemby? You have any idea?
I believe he's 20.
Yeah, that's crazy.
But look at Brandon Ingram, right? Young guy, he's back. So that's 21. How I want you to visualize it. Think of Brandon Ingram.
All right.
And by the way, did you guys see the Super Bowl?
So you sent us all this text where Brad Pitt is doing this like preamble before the Super Bowl, and then you sent us a still photo. You're going to have to explain it to us because I saw Brad Pitt. I saw the whole thing. I missed it. I missed the 1 millionth of a second that you were in it. You got to explain what happened.
So this is what happened. I did a 17-week TV show called Fantasy Football Uncensored with Jay Glazer and David Spade. It was on Fox Sports, and they remembered all this stuff. So 2 weeks before the Super Bowl, I get a phone call from Fox Sports. Hey, Dr. Clapper, we're going to do a Clapper vision about the huddle. Okay, great. The huddle in sports and football. But what about the huddle that the firemen do, the huddle that the military does? Everybody in life, you in the radio station with Chris Morales, you huddle before you do stuff, right? They said to me, do you huddle before you do surgery? I go, yes, I do. Great. Can we come and film you doing a huddle? Because Brad Pitt is going to do a 5-minute feature before the national anthem. So 2 weeks before the Super Bowl, they come to Cedars-Sinai and film. There's 11 football players on the team. I got 11 nurses and techs and residents and physician assistant and anesthesiologists. I got 11 people in Cedars-Sinai uniform, and they filmed me doing the huddle. It was so incredible. And the problem is, I then went on vacation to Easter Island, which is the most remote place in the world. There's no internet, there's no TV, but that's a whole nother story. But yeah, if you go on YouTube, Brad Pitt Super Bowl, you will see Dr. Clapper doing a huddle in that piece, that feature that they did about the huddle, which is a beautiful piece, by the way, that Tom Rinaldi wrote. It's really hefty.
I'm looking at the picture right now. I'm looking at the picture.
Yeah.
Sharp.
Clapper, I got one more question for you quickly. We only have 2 minutes here.
Yeah.
What can you tell us about this Dustin May injury?
You know, every morning my father used to get up and he'd look at me and go, you know, Robbie, I got another day. And I'd go, of course you got another day. And you know what? The older I get, the more I realize my father cherished each and every day like it was a little lifetime. And the reason I say that is, oh, my God, can you imagine you go to a restaurant, you're having chicken Parmesan, you had to pick up your wife's Parmesan cheese, right? That all of a sudden you didn't realize there's a bone in the chicken. They didn't take out from the filet, and now you got a chicken bone stuck in your throat, and it perforates your esophagus. How the hell does that happen?
Well, wait a second, but Doc, this was even worse because it was a piece of lettuce. It was from a salad.
Yeah. Okay, there you go. Completely booby-trapped and unexpected. That's why, Cappy, you get up every morning, you got to be like my dad, Abraham Clapper. I got another day, because freak accidents, crazy stuff can happen. But the beauty of it is, as a surgeon, you got a hole in your esophagus. I got stitches. I can sew it up. And Dustin May will be back on the mound winning for the Dodgers.
All right, fair enough. Thank you, Dr. Clapper. You're the man, Dr. Clapper. We love you, buddy.
We love you, too. Thanks so much. Appreciate it.
There he is, the great Dr. Clapper.
Cool. That's pretty cool that they went over there to film that with him.
Yeah.
It was on TV for like a millionth of a second. At least he sent a picture. I didn't see
I know. I saw it. He sent it. I was there. I was on the text, too. I don't know if you realize that.
Actually, I kind of thought it was like one of those weird things where he sent us each individual texts.
Oh, well, maybe it was an individual text, but I saw it, yes.
I know.
By the way, ESPN LA, the Lakers and BB Cappy are teaming up to find the Lakers Gafote, the greatest fan of all time. Are you the Gafote? If so, you could win the ultimate fan package, including courtside seats and a year's supply of BB If this is you, go to LakersGafote.com. That's GFOAT.com. LakersGafote.com to learn how to submit your entry. All right, 5 o'clock hour coming up, 30 minutes nonstop before we turn it over to Lakers Blazers next.
Hey, guys, it's Cap. Here's the scenario. Your home is flooded and the damage is severe. Now it feels like your insurance company is turning on you. They won't approve a replacement living arrangement, and the adjuster leaves you in the lurch. Take a breath and call Avner Gatt, one of Southern California's largest public adjuster firms. Avner Gatt knows how to fight back when your insurance company makes you feel like a criminal, leaving you with no hope of getting...
Then I showed up in court and was told they may not be mine. Then I was accused of anything and everything. Sexual assault, domestic violence, substance abuse. You name it, I heard it. I was forced to go long periods of time without seeing my children. That experience of being wrongfully treated ignited something in me. I can look at a father and honestly tell him, I know how he is feeling. I've been there. At Real Fathers Rights, we care about your family, your livelihood, and your future.
your LA Rams. The Rams play here.
Five o'clock whistle with Sedano and Cappy.
That's right, it's the 5 o'clock hour on Sedano and Cap. And it's time for 30 minutes nonstop.
Sedano and Cap on 710 ESPN.
With fun and frivolity, tomfoolery and hijinks, and Cappy doing his thing. Thanks to our friends at Real Father's Rights. Real Father's Rights, the father's rights attorney.
Visit RFR710.com or call 833-ESPN-710.
Let's do it, 5 o'clock in the Southland.
30 minutes of nonstop Sedano and Cap starts now.
You ready for this? And time for the Real Father's Rights 5 o'clock hour on 710 ESPN. Let's do it, Jack.
Oh, there he is.
Come on, give it to us.
So Trudell has been waiting to join us for like 2 hours almost.
No way.
So I'm very upset about this. I feel like somebody, in Cappy's high school, when Cappy was a senior, and I was like a freshman or a sophomore, and I was like, oh, there goes the cool guy. He's walking by, and I like Cappy, and then he walks into the classroom, and I'm just stuck outside. Wow. I just can't be friends with them, can't hang out. And it's because what are the Blazers doing with their closed shoot-around? Are there state secrets there that the rest of the NBA can't see?
Well, not only closed shoot-around, but, it's rare to have a closed shoot-around so close to game time is what I would say.
It happens. Sometimes the Lakers will do it after, let's say the team gets in late the night before or something. And so
right, but it's usually like 3 o'clock or 4 o'clock or something. But yeah.
No, you know what? You're right. It should, and that's what I thought. I would have thought it would be closed like a little bit, or it would be open
3 to 4
earlier.
Usually. Yeah.
So, so I'm not happy about it. Now, we can move on. You guys spent a lot of resources to get me here. I understand that. The Cappy and Sedano show, one of the biggest in the country. Sedano and Cap, I should say. George's name obviously comes first. And here I am.
Hey, Mike, let me ask you a question here about
I'm ready for
Luca. So, yesterday, JJ is saying there's no minutes restriction, right? And then today the report is that he's not going to play. So I guess the most obvious answer is, hey, he's not playing on the second night of a back-to-back. But is there anything more to it than that?
Well, so I'll ask JJ that specific question, but my guess at the answer would just be that this was something that was always part of the protocol, right, when he came in, which was, all right, let's keep the minutes low early. Let's make sure that the Cap responds well to the previous day's game. And I think that it has so far. Luca has said that it feels good. He feels that it's really just a rhythm thing and getting back into kind of game shape. But LeBron even mentioned this. He's only played now 3 games since Christmas. And to have a back-to-back this early in it, I think they're just being super cautious. It would be my guess. And again, I'll ask JJ in about a half hour here, Cappy. But I was expecting this to be this way. And then I think the good news is moving forward, that minutes limit and even the back-to-back concern, that I think kind of goes away, provided that he got through last night okay. So hopefully it'll be clear sailing from this point on.
By the way, your boy Austin Reeves, okay?
Yeah. We haven't talked about this enough today.
Okay, we haven't talked about it at all, actually. I'm glad you're here because here's what I would say, okay? And I know that he made his comments yesterday that, he deserved the first tech, which he did. He was too demonstrative towards the official.
In fairness, I did set him up to answer the question that way by saying, hey, Austin, I'm guessing you weren't surprised to get the first one since you walked over in the ref's face, but were you surprised at getting the second? That's kind of how I set it up.
Great job, Mike.
Nice chess playing.
Well, no, I'm not taking credit. I'm just saying I let him into that a little bit.
No, you did.
Like,
you did. That's why I said great job, Mike. It wasn't me being sarcastic.
I know. I just don't. I'm not trying to get credit. I'm just not. Anyway, go on, George.
So
whatever.
So then he made the comment about he cursed and guys get more leeway and he didn't believe he did anything that other guys haven't done in the past. And my response to that is this. And he may be 100% right, but we all know that in a lot of cases, now there is some objectivity, obviously, to the technical fouls, but there is some subjectivity to it as well. And what I would say is he just learned you ain't LeBron or Luca or Draymond or any of these guys just yet, Austin.
Yep.
Yeah, I think that's fair. You know, in Austin's one of those guys he's more self-critical than you are going to be critical of him. So he was definitely feeling the kind of I let my teammates down part. I would say my first perspective on this, and this would be in any sport, Cappy. I think the same in the NFL, the same in any sport. The referee just doesn't need to do that much. Like, he's coming at you, give him the tech, that's fine. To then throw him out because he said that's blank BS a third time is just unnecessary. Like, just let fans enjoy the game. It just doesn't need to happen. Give them the tech. And so once the Lakers are up 8 at that point, then they get the 2 free throws, and all of a sudden Charlotte's like, oh, Reeves is out. You know, Luca's on the minutes restriction at least a little bit. Like, they got some life, and then things went as they went. The Lakers couldn't hit a shot. Charlotte hit every 3, and it turns into a terrible loss. But that was, I think, the turning point, and I expect that Austin Reeves comes out tonight, guys. And, again, I can see this now because I'm in the arena. He's going to come out, I think, with an extra verve and reward the resources that Sedano and Cap have put into sending me into the arena tonight.
Well, that's exactly right. Hey,
Cappy, why don't you ask Trudell about the threes that you asked me? Because I'd love to hear his answer compared to mine.
I would love to do that. The first thing I want to say is you're exactly right, Mike. Nobody pays to see the refs ref. We pay to see the players play. And when you are at home and you kick out one of the stars of the team, I mean, come on, bro. What are you, a Major League Baseball umpire? Come on.
Yeah, dude. Like, if he like bumps into you or something and it gives you no choice, then I get it. And that George alluded to this. If you give the ref no choice, you're in his face just barking personal FUs to the guy. Okay, fine. But if you're kind of saying that call was BS, like, you can take it, can't you?
Yeah.
If you're a ref, you can take it. That's all.
Right. That decision is BS. Now let's go to the 3-pointers. I brought this up to George. 51 3-point shot attempts last night from the Lakers. They were 15 of 51. My thought is A, this is not a great 3-point shooting team. It may become one when Luca starts knocking them down, but it hasn't been, and it currently is not necessarily a great 3-point shooting team. So what's the reason for so many threes? Is it guys are lazy? Is it guys are settling for shots? Is it guys aren't giving maximum effort? Is it coaching and by design? What is the reason why all of a sudden the Lakers think they're the Celtics?
Well, Cappy, I'm glad you asked, and there is a direct answer to this, and we'll see how much it aligns with what George had to say. But you said a word in that word salad, and I think you said settling. Did you say that, Cappy?
I did say that.
And I do think that that's been the case these last 2 games because the types of threes that the Lakers were taking, that was more the issue for me than the volume. Like, if you get 50 good threes or whatever, I don't care what the number is. I don't care if it's 60. If it's a wide open shot that's coming off of dribble penetration and a kick out, great. Like, I don't care if that's a 17-footer, a layup, a 3. If it's a really good shot, take the shot. In this case, I counted, I went back, and I don't have the number in front of me now, but I want to say like 26 of the threes were without any dribble penetration whatsoever. They were just like the ball didn't even enter the 3-point arc. That, to me, is not a good shot, unless it's like a walk-up in transition and it's wide open. I get that. Those can be rhythm shots. And the other part of that is 41 of those 51 threes that they took were above the break. And you want to be generating more corner threes, especially if you have Luca Doncic and LeBron James. And usually, as George knows, right, and I shouldn't say as Cappy that you don't know, but I know that George knows. Usually, once you get the attention of the defense or a double team in the paint, that's when you kick out for those open corner threes and less so the above the break threes. So I do think that they settled. I do think that the reason that they settled is because they're still getting used to where they should be on the court when Luca has the ball versus when LeBron does and how they're going to attack defenses. So a little bit of settling, a little bit because Charlotte's bad defensively and they just gave up whatever look that you wanted and they're trying to take more. So I think that will get better would be my conclusion to all this. But Cappy, you're not
but
wrong
I also think, this is what I told Cappy, a lot of it is by design. They do want to shoot way more threes because they've been a middle-of-the-pack 3-point shooting team, and because of the makeup of the roster, they want to generate more.
Yeah, true, for sure. That's true, George. But no coach, to me, wants to generate the types of threes that are not coming off of,
right, in
of
that
better
specific.
action.
But I think isn't it 3 straight games where they're hovering around 50 attempts?
Well, the last 2 specifically, I think they got a lot more in the first Utah game, like the last win. But those were more of what the coaches would call paint to great threes. Yeah. The last 2 games have been threes that they've been settling upon. And yes, they want their overall volume to go up, but they don't want it to go up just like, oh, you come down and you chuck the first shot that you get, because you can always take a 3. it's just you can always get one off, and that I think is the issue. It's not about the volume. It's about what kinds of threes that you're taking, and that has to get better.
Hey, Mike.
So to his point, Cappy, the Lakers are generating just under 17 what they would call wide open threes. Okay, with that, not a defender within 10 feet or whatnot, and that is in the bottom third of the league at the moment per game.
Mm-hmm. All right. Hey, Mike, I'm curious. After the game, you're in the locker room, right?
Right.
What is it like because you've been around the team for so long? Listen to this.
Hold
So
on.
what's going on here?
The Rose Garden there is pushing their
they really
their pregame, testing their pregame stuff.
What are they just got up a little bit. We're good now. Go ahead, Cappy. My bad.
So here's a question for you. You've been around the team. You've been in the locker room for a long time after these games. They were hot. They were just playing great basketball. By the way, minus Anthony Davis because he had gotten hurt in the trade, minus Luca because he hadn't been, put onto the floor yet. They were playing great basketball. The last two games in particular, you're losing to two absolute bottom feeders, and last night was even worse because it was at home. So I'm curious, was it like in the Laker locker room last night? Is it like, hey, it's no big game, it's one of 82, or were they as pissed and as embarrassed as I would hope they would have been after a game last night? What was the tone thereafter?
Yeah, so it's never just one thing, right? Everybody reacts to something a little different. So, like LeBron James understands exactly what happened and why. So, he's been there before, whereas somebody like Luca, who's just in his third game with the Lakers, there's probably some more frustration. He wants to show out in front of the crowd. He wants to be in a better rhythm. So I think it's a little different for everybody. The Utah game on the road, the last one before the break, I felt going in that was going to be a tricky one because they were without a couple of key vets. Finney Smith and Vincent were both out. They had just beaten them by 30. Utah was going to play hard, is in their gym, and the Lakers basically just wanted to get through the game healthy. So that's one of those typical kind of NBA trap games that happens. I get it. The Charlotte game, they played poorly in the first half, but they still created a pretty easy lead. And then they were up 13 late in the third and that was the point where we already talked about with Reeves getting ejected and all of a sudden Miles Bridges can't miss and LaMelo's can't miss. It's another game that sort of happens, but you're frustrated with the result, Cappy. The process of it, there's no panic that, I can't believe we lost to Charlotte on top of Utah. It's just sort of, you're leaving something out there that could have put the Lakers in a better spot. George, the thing that I think makes you feel overall still better and encouraged about it is that because the Lakers took care of business to such a good degree before that, they're still 11 games over 500. Where that would have been an abject disaster would have been like last season when they're just flirting around 500 and in the play-in the whole time. So to just add one other layer onto that, though, that's why a game like tonight, even though it's the second night of a back-to-back and a tough place to win, is important. That's why the game at home against Dallas, coming out after the tough Denver game, you don't want to get back into that play-in mix. And you're only about, I think Dallas is 5 games back in the loss column, right? Minnesota is 4 games back in the loss column. So you can't keep stacking these types of losses on top of one another.
I would agree. And look, I was telling Cappy, Portland is no longer a pushover at this point of the season. They've played fairly well over their last, 10, 15 games or whatnot. They're still a very young team, and the Lakers should win this game, especially considering what's just transpired the last 2 games. This is going to be, in theory, it should be harder than playing a game against Charlotte and Utah.
Yes, no doubt. And so George, I've been coming to Portland now since 2008, right when I started with the Lakers, and whether the Lakers have a great team, and they've had some great teams, they've won 3 titles since then, or a poor team, like all the lottery teams when they were rebuilding, and as George likes to affectionately refer to all of my kids at the time, and really more like cousins. I mean, I was never that old, but whatever. It's always a tough game, because for Portland, there's nothing that they like more than beating the Lakers, whether they're good, whether they're bad. And what that means, it just kind of evens things out. It's never a gimme up here. And they had, as George just alluded to, Cappy, the Blazers had won 9 of 10, and then they went on a 3-game losing streak right before the break. But partly that was because it was at Minnesota and then at Denver twice. So most teams are going to lose that type of a stretch on the road. So coming back, there's no DeAndre Ayton. That hurts him a little bit. He had been playing better after really struggling for a while. And they're going to start Donovan. They're going to start Donovan Clingan, I believe, who had 2 pretty good games against Jokic, but is a step slow. So, like, if LeBron plays and he's questionable, that would up the Lakers' chances of getting one. But the final point I would make, Cappy, we got into the hotel at about 3 a.m. last night, and like that, it's just never easy coming into a back-to-back against a team that is fresh off of the All-Star break with that kind of a rest difference. So that does decrease, I think, the odds of the Lakers stealing one. But the biggest thing will be if LeBron's able to play or not.
Well, I'm so glad you just mentioned that. I'm so glad you just mentioned that, because now I'm thinking to myself, I got to go look. I never, ever bet on basketball, but if the line is right tonight, I mean, you've just laid out. Hey,
don't
here's
involve
Portland.
me in your betting stuff, okay?
Well,
as an NBA employee, I'm not allowed to bet. I was just simply giving
you don't
George
have to bet.
and you information, Cappy. Okay,
Right. Good info.
save your gambling stuff.
Good info. I'll tell you that right now. It's good information.
Yeah.
I think I may.
By the way,
I may
Mike,
take
so
Portland tonight.
I decided to look it up via Cleaning the Glass.
Mhm.
Yesterday was the 10th worst shooting night from the corners for the Lakers this season. There have actually been worse nights, but.
Rui, who is nails from there, just can miss, right? Yeah, he couldn't get one to go.
Yeah, but it is in the bottom 10 of shooting nights for the Lakers, particularly from the corners. Cappy, should we get you a Cleaning the Glass subscription? What do you think?
I would love it. Wait, I got to pay for it?
Yeah, it's
George
like
will give you
$50
his
for the year.
Cleaning the Glass. What does it do for me?
I don't think you'd ever figure out how to use this
It's
thing.
a good stat site. They take out like garbage time and stuff like that, and so you get a little bit of a more accurate picture. But you need somebody like George that's able to contextualize it for you. So I don't know if you need it really.
Hey, let me ask you something. As we hear the national anthem in the background now, George, this is 2 nights in a row.
Yeah.
Where we are hearing the rehearsal for the national anthem.
Right.
And last night, Mike, we sang along.
Yeah.
You want to sing along?
No. What I was going to do. And
you sure?
Yeah. You know how many times I've heard the anthem? And look,
Ooh,
we all
you
respect
can't sing
the
with this
anthem,
girl.
But yeah, we're good. I put together my All NBA teams given the Wemby injury.
Oh wow, yeah, that changes things big time, no doubt.
And AD now is probably going to be AD was going to be on the first team,
Right, but he can't be on. He's not going to have enough
so,
games. Yeah.
So can I float mine to George and see where he agrees?
I mean,
Cappy,
yeah,
you too?
sure. Cappy, you want to weigh in on his NBA All
Let me take a
NBA
listen.
team?
Yeah, let me hear what Mike Trudell has to say.
So what do you want it in order? First team to third or vice versa?
Yeah. Let me hear first team. Go ahead.
Okay, so here's my first team: Jokic,
Yeah.
Shea,
Yeah.
Giannis,
Yeah.
Tatum,
Yep.
and Brunson. That's my first. Now you probably have
Brunson.
Mitchell on yours since.
I would have had Donovan Mitchell on mine.
Yeah,
Yes.
I think Brunson has to do more for the Knicks than Mitchell does for the Cavs, but it's close. Like I wouldn't be mad if you
Yeah.
wanted to put.
Now we
Mitchell.
had this discussion when I was there with you the other night. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's I don't think there are any other than maybe Mitchell for Brunson, which I get. So anyway, here's my second team.
Okay.
Mitchell,
Right.
Anthony Edwards,
Okay.
LeBron,
Okay.
Karl Anthony Towns, and
Yeah.
Jaren Jackson Jr.
Yeah, I'm good with that.
Now, the toughest omission on that team, and this is I would need to look at the on-off data, which I hadn't yet. This is just my initial one. So on my third team would be Evan Mobley. I'd be fine if you put him
Evan
over
Mobley
Cat.
could win. He's like a top 2 favorite now with Wemby out to win Defensive Player of the Year.
Yeah, I would go Jaren Jackson Jr., but Mobley's probably second for me.
Yeah.
And then Dyson Daniels maybe third, even though the Hawks stink. But
I like Dyson Daniels. I don't think the perimeter guys get enough love in those situations.
Yeah, that's fair. So that's the one thing that's open.
Cappy, do you
Third
think the
team-
perimeter guys get enough love?
I think that they do get a fair amount of love. I think they could get a little more love. I mean, I like to love everybody, but apparently not everybody loves those guys.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, third team now: Steph Curry, Kate Cunningham, Jaylen Brown, Kevin Durant, and Evan Mobley. So those
I don't have a huge issue right now. I got to be honest with you.
No, the snubs, if you want to say snubs, would be Lillard, Garland, Sabonis. But I wouldn't put.
No,
them
I don't
over
think
any
of those
the
guys
that
are
I
actually
mentioned.
snubs. Like I don't think so.
No, yeah. So basically, my teams are perfect right now, and it just sucks. You got no Wemby, no AD, no Luca, no Embiid.
I would say
but, you know,
fairly
look,
perfect. Yeah.
Well, the Wemby thing is
Cappy,
really
any-
bizarre.
Wemby would have been first team in my opinion.
Yeah, he was on that borderline first or second, so you'd have to kind of pick between him and AD, because you're not taking Jokic, Shea, Giannis, or Tatum off, I don't think. So it would have been AD or Wemby. AD to me is still the all.
Oh, you know what? How about Kyrie?
Kyrie I considered for the third team, but the problem is Dallas is going to be, Dallas might not make the playoffs at this point if he can't get back in time.
Yeah.
But he's on that list too. He's been great this year for sure.
Hey, Mike, I just want to go back to something you'd said a little bit earlier about LeBron tonight.
Okay.
So it's not a foregone conclusion that he's in. He's as of right now, we still don't know if LeBron is playing tonight.
No. So he's listed as questionable, and he will go talk to J.J. Redick in 8 minutes. And I haven't seen him come out to do his workout yet. But it's usually a good sign, though. So, we don't know for sure again. But if Luca has been ruled out, and that hasn't been official yet, but if that happens and LeBron maintains that questionable tag, it usually comes down to how he feels when he comes on the court. And more often than not, he plays. And I, especially in these kind of situations where you could say, you're 22, everyone would totally understand. Okay, if he didn't play tonight. He's been dealing with this foot injury. He didn't play in the All-Star game. It's a back-to-back. He's played more minutes than anybody. But a lot of times in those situations, LeBron is like, oh, yeah? You don't think I'm going to play in this one? I'm LeBron James.
Well,
and he goes out and he has a triple-double. So
how about they need him tonight?
Well, they do. Yeah, they do need him tonight. Look, you could try to get Austin Reeves to go for the 45-7-7 again, though. The revenge Austin Reeves game coming off of getting ejected last night.
Right.
A
By the way,
harder,
he's only
though.
the sixth Laker in the history of the organization to do that. Elgin Baylor, Jerry West, Magic Johnson, Kobe Bryant, LeBron James, and now Austin Reeves.
That's right. Yeah, good stat, George. And I think that it's tougher, though, for him tonight because of Tamani Kamara, Denny Avdia.
He's good, Tamani Kamara.
Yeah,
that kid
really
can defend, and he's starting to shoot the ball pretty well now, too.
Yeah, he's nice. He might be their best player. Maybe Avdia because he's a couple years older, but he's coming. So
Avdia here, Cappy. Avdia is one of your Hebraic hermanos, Cappy.
Oh, really?
Denny Avdia, yeah.
Yes, from Israel.
Denny Avdia, really from Israel?
Yeah.
From the homeland.
And he's very physical, Cappy. He's one of the most physical drivers, I think, in the NBA. He loves contact when he's going to the basket.
George, I'm so glad you're telling me about this. This guy's going to shoot to the top of my favorite players in the entire NBA.
Yeah,
There you
L'Chaim.
go.
Hey, L'Chaim to you. I didn't even know about Advia. Now tonight I'm going to be watching just for
he's
Advia.
a player. Yeah, he's
Okay.
a player. They gave up a couple first-round picks to get him from Washington.
Hey, Mike,
get him
just
on
one last thing here really quickly for me because we're about to get out of here and hand it off to the broadcast. Which of LeBron's ankles, is it his right or his left? Which one is the one that's giving him the problem? Do you know?
Sorry, Cappy, say that one more time.
Which is the foot with the
is
issue?
LeBron having a problem with?
It's left.
It's the left.
Yeah,
I
it's
think
the left.
It's the left? Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, it's
I'm
left
watching
foot. It's the
tonight.
left foot.
Okay, the only reason is I'm watching tonight because when he does all these power dunks, I want to see which foot he jumps off of.
The left, yeah. That's his jump-off foot.
Wow. His foot looked fine to me. I mean, but what do I know? I mean, I'm just a guy watching on a phone.
Cappy
Not even on a
doesn't think
TV.
he should. Cappy thinks he should have played in the All-Star game. That's why he's.
I don't really care if he played in the All-Star game. If he was hurt and he cares more about the Lakers season than he does about the All-Star game, good for him. All I'm saying is that he looked really good last night.
Yeah, well, look, I'm gonna go ask JJ Redick what Cappy wants to know right now.
Okay.
And Cappy, do you want me to text you, or are you good?
No, I would like it if you would text me. Yes, that would be wonderful. Thank you.
Or can I just tweet it and then?
No,
Yeah, just tweet it and then you
please
send him
text
your
me.
tweet.
Well,
Yeah.
well, you don't get alerts for my
No,
tweets,
yeah.
Cappy?
Cappy, here's what you do. No, Mike, Cappy
Turn on
doesn't know how to
alerts.
set alerts. There's
No,
no
of course
chance he
not.
knows how to
Lindsay,
do
can
that.
Lindsay do it for him?
Yeah. No. Here's what you do.
I could.
You write the tweet, Mike, and then you text Cappy your tweet.
No, I know, but I wouldn't have to text it to him if he just got signed up for alerts.
Yeah, no, but
I'm not getting alerts from Twitter. No chance.
Well, but then you'll know anything you need to know about the Lakers. You know.
Well, I'm just going to go on and I'm going to wait 30 minutes or so, and I'm going to look up your tweets.
Okay, well, you could do that too. Anyway, guys, it's been a pleasure. Thank you to the show for spending the money to get me up here.
Yeah.
Boots on the ground, buddy.
Yeah. So I'm gonna go do that, and you guys have a great rest of the day.
You too.
All right. Well,
man.
you have a great broadcast there, Michael. There he is, the great Michael Trudell.
Tell you what, number 2 on the list. Number 2, George. Right behind Pam
Number 2,
Oliver.
yeah,
and
right
in front of
behind
Lisa Salters.
Pam Oliver. Yeah,
Right, and right in front of Lisa.
yeah.
Pretty good, though.
I've dropped down to 4.
I know. But you can move back up.
Yeah. Well, we'll see.
You can definitely move back up.
All right. Well, we've got Beto and Michael coming up with the Lakers pregame. Lakers Blazers. By the way, of course, Michael Thompson played with the Blazers. He's the number 1 overall pick for the Blazers. So one of his homes away from home, Cappy.
One of
when he goes there. Everybody's got a home away from home, right? So there you go. Clay grew up there for a while. Yeah, I mean, the kids, they grew up there. So Michael is like the mayor when he goes to Portland. All right, we're done here. Great job, DeAndre. Great job, Lindsay. Great job, Cappy. Thank you to the Circle. Go log on to LakersGafote.com and go try to win some courtside seats and BB Go for a year. Great job, Circle, as I mentioned. Anybody I missed? I don't know. I think we're good.
Got them all.
Beto and Michael are up.